for today. Showers and a chance of thunderstorms. Our high temperatures this afternoon in the low 70s north, upper 70s south. More isolated showers and thunderstorms overnight. Lows will drop down upper 50s to low 60s overnight. And then a chance of showers and storms Saturday, a high in the upper 70s to low 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for wine, specialty beers, and liquor. Located at 12100 Highway 71 South in Fort Smith. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, you're listening to ESPN 95.3. ERX Paris, Fort Smith. Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect it.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Why can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah. Matt Jones, Matt, take it to the house. That done.
You both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Kristen Johnston.
From the bottom of my tongue, you got my hand. My heart, dog. Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no Moss at halftime.
Number one Razorback. Vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story's over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Kristen Johnston.
I can't hear you right now.
Friday, halftime, best day of the week. It's so confusing. I'm having to do double duty, triple duty almost today. I got hog reaction later. There's so many buttons up here, and I'm just one man. But welcome in. Halftime. Matt Jones obviously helping me get everything started today. Colton Little here with you on ESPN Arkansas. 11:01 in the morning here. We'll take you the next 3 hours till 2 o'clock. First pitch today for the Arkansas Razorbacks and the hated Texas Longhorns begins at 3 p.m. You'll hear it right here on this ESPN Arkansas station and most of our affiliates all across the state. Softball's supposed to get underway here in just a minute as well. Did not see anything in my email, did not see anything on social media, did not see anything right now that would let us know that softball is, pushing that game back or anything. But it is coming down a little bit there in Fayetteville, but nonetheless, the Razorback softball team and the Duke Blue Devils are about to get started down at Bogle Park for the Fayetteville Super Regional. NBA playoff action last night. Lots of stuff to get into here today on halftime. Matt, good morning. Good to see you today. How you doing, brother?
Hey, man, happy to be here. I'm pumped. In the words of Matt Damon, let's let the healing begin.
Let's let the healing begin. And the healing is begin because, first of all, it's Friday, and it's really the start of a 3-day long weekend, too. One of the best weekends of the year, the official kickoff of summer. Do you have any Memorial Day plans, Matt? You do anything on Monday?
Well, I just try to stay alive. There's a thing that just, I guess it's how you're raised. And my parents have kind of a mantra that when it's a holiday and all the riffraff is out, try to find somewhere and kind of hang out.
Stay
so
put, yeah.
I'll probably try to stay at the house, try to, grill out maybe.
Yes.
Got an amazing, I'm a homebody. You got video games, got a pool, got a dog, got any type of TV. Where's there to go?
Nowhere.
What about you? What do you got going? I know the unit's out. He's already got a
Unit is
fast
out.
break on his Memorial Day.
Mm-hmm. He's already gone. He's in Orlando right now. I don't know if he's visiting Disney World because he's a Disney adult, no matter what anybody says. And I don't know if he's visiting Disney World. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna see if I can get that information so we can give an accurate representation of where the third big part of our show is today. But nonetheless, we trudge on here, and Matt, that's exactly what the Knicks and the Cavs did last night in the Eastern Conference Finals. Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart had a fantastic night as well. What do you make of that second game in the Eastern Conference Finals? That's where we start right here on.
I loved every second of it. So we don't have. I don't have to go down and tell you how much I love playoff basketball. I think everybody knows how much I love playoff basketball. One of the guys we talked about was Josh Hart, and he stepped up. I want to get Aaron Torres. I know we have him coming up in the next hour. I want to ask him if he thinks Mikal Bridges is similar to Malik Thomas. trying to give somebody a comp, kind of who he sees him as. I think James Harden's days are numbered. Not a lot of help really when you look at the Cleveland Cavs. They got Donovan Mitchell, and you got a James Harden he had a better game. He had 0 turnovers, but it was kind of futile.
Yeah, I mean, the Knicks, they held the Cavs to under 40% shooting overall and under 30% from three-point range. Like you said, it was just hard for the Cavs to kind of get into their spots last night, and that's a credit to the Knicks defense and what they did. I saw an interesting stat that the New York Knicks in the previous 21 years before Jalen Brunson had joined that franchise, that they had 8 playoff wins in those 21 years. And since he's joined in 2022, the last 4 years, they have 33.
He's getting up there, Colton. I heard this a couple days ago when kind of doing a little prep and trying to, figure out what we're talking about. And somebody asked this question, and they had to hesitate. If Jalen Brunson wins an NBA title, is he going to go down as the best Knick ever?
He'll be up there. He will vault up to the close.
Walt
to the top
Frazier,
of that list.
Bernard King, Patrick Ewing. You go down there's been a lot of great New York Knickerbockers, but there's only been one New York Knick championship.
Mm-hmm. He would definitely climb up that list pretty high, especially like I said.
I love the dude.
He's so good, and like we talked about yesterday, I think that gives you a little bit of comfort knowing that there is room for smaller guards in this league to blossom and be the centerpiece for a franchise. So, Malik Thomas, Darius Acuff, 2 guys that are obviously still trying to make sure and testing the draft waters right now. Acuff's going to be he'll go in the top 10 picks no matter what. But it just kind of gives you a little bit of faith that smaller guards in this league can get things done, and that's exactly what Jalen Brunson did last night. The Cavaliers took care of business against the Knicks took care of business last night against the Cavs, 109-93, your final score right there. Kind of near the one part of the game, the Knicks had an 18-0 run, and at that point, Cleveland was just buried. So it was certainly a little bit exciting. And, for me as a Knicks fan, I think it's super great. I'm kind of just trying to keep my expectations tempered a little bit because this doesn't change the fact that we've already surmised a little bit this week, Matt. The champion this year is coming out of the Western Conference. Even if San Antonio makes it somehow out of this series with the Spurs, maybe I'd feel a little bit more confident if the Knicks are able to pull it
everybody's
off.
Healthy, I would agree with you.
Yes, but the thing is, if
the Spurs made it and Wemby twisted an ankle and couldn't play for 3 games,
it would take quite a bit, even if the Spurs somehow make it out. I just feel like the Western Conference and those guys on the Thunder and on the Spurs are just a little bit better than what the Knicks may have to be able to match up against. But lots of NBA action. We'll keep you covered with that right here on Halftime like we always do throughout the duration of the playoffs. We'll touch a little bit on this baseball matchup today, obviously, with the hated Texas Longhorns and the Razorbacks squaring off at Hoover. 3 o'clock first pitch. Obviously, in Hoover, Alabama, this time of year, rain's going to play a significant factor. So hopefully they don't have to delay that game at all and that we can kind of get that squeezed in here for everybody. Don't have to push some stuff around because actually I have to do a lot of work if they push this game back. So I'm really hoping that they get this one squeezed in as well. And also the softball game matchup for the Super Regional, Duke and Arkansas at 11 o'clock here. It just got underway, so we'll give you updates on that as we go on throughout the day. We'll also give you our Today in History because we have to make sure we do that every day. Let the people know what happened on this day, some of the famous pop culture things historically, also who was born on this day. No famous deaths because we're not gonna bring that up. But there was something that I wanted to get with Matt also about the United States men's national team. Also,
let's do it.
It looks like that they have they're trying to get that roster really nailed down. It's in the rundown. It looks like Pochettino has what he thinks is going to be the lineup for that squad as they go into the World Cup. You have a countdown going on your head? How many days?
20 days, but here's the England squad is really baffling. They left Cole Palmer out and they left Phil Foden out. Like those 2 dudes, Phil Foden's at Man City, Pep's leaving after 10 years there, but Cole Palmer's at Chelsea. I don't understand what Thomas Tuchel is doing because it is ridiculous the fact that you would leave Cole Palmer and Phil Foden off of your team. I promise you, those dudes are 2 of the top 20 players. There's 26 people make the team. We'll take 3 off the goalies. So they are 2 of the top 23 players in England. 100%. I don't understand what's going on.
I'm really looking forward to this World Cup. As a guy that really only watches soccer whenever big things like this happen, like the Olympics and like the World Cup, I'm looking forward to this. Obviously, as a true red-blooded American patriot, I'm hoping that the U.S. doesn't really embarrass us in the World Cup, but I don't think that I'm not sure we're going to see them during the final stages, but I'm excited to be on the show with you whenever all this is going on, so hopefully you can learn me a thing or two about what's actually happening out there.
Spain has the best midfield. You start looking around, Germany's going to be tough, maybe the best defense. France is just France is so good, Colton, that their second team, the 23 that got left off, would all be on the American team. Like, that's how good. It's like saying American basketball. If you took our second 12, we would go start for any other country with that second group. That's how good France is. But Brazil's amazing. Don't get me wrong. But right now, with everybody's healthy, Spain is my pick to win the World Cup.
Well, we'll be looking forward to the rest of the World Cup and all the action that happens there. And what was it, 21 days, 20 days?
Yeah, let me make sure. Let me see.
Just about three or so weeks here, whenever the World Cup kicks off, we'll have a lot of coverage on that for you right here on Halftime. Your leading soccer experts on ESPN
20 days.
Arkansas. 20 days till the World Cup starts, and we'll have all of the action happening in the World Cup. We'll make sure that we break it down right here. Yeah, a Barry Sanders. That's absolutely right. Halftime today is brought to you by Joe's Grill and Cantina. The best Tex-Mex and even better service is at Joe's Grill and Cantina right here in Fort Smith. Every day, Joe's Grill makes fresh from scratch salsa, queso dip, and guacamole. They have those crispy warm chips to start your meal, and plus they have fajitas, enchiladas, tacos, burritos, and more. And those awesome meals will make your experience one that you won't forget. Great Tex-Mex and even better service at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps. As I transition here to fill in for this show, usually I'm not working during this time, and so I could always go grab some lunch. And every day I do these reads for all these for Joe's and everybody else, and it just makes my mouth water. So I may have to go scrounge in the fridge, see if there's any crumbs in there that Christian might have left me from all his various snacks, and may have to steal some of those. But we're going to come back here on Halftime in just a minute, talk a little bit more about this baseball matchup, Texas versus Arkansas, as well as one thing that we really didn't get into yesterday. You got to ask Brett Dolan about it, but I didn't get to ask you about it, and that's Eddie O back in Baton Rouge for the LSU Tigers. So we'll hit on all that and a little bit more coming up on Halftime. Stay where you are.
The Razorbacks are on the road to Hoover for the SEC tournament, and ESPN Arkansas will be there from the first pitch to the final out. Our exclusive coverage is brought to you by Butler Furniture and Mountain Home. All the action in Hoover is also brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV, and by Walk On Sports Bistro.
And the Hogs have won it on Turner's second home run of the year. Oh, my goodness. This one belongs to the Razorbacks.
When I first left the bat, I wasn't sure, and then when it started going up, I said, that's going to go.
The pitch to Helfrich is swung on, hit high in the air to left field. Long run, Bargo back at the wall. He doesn't know where it is. It doesn't matter. It's out of here. A grand slam. Got it. This one belongs to the Razorbacks. They take 2 out of 3 from the Tennessee Volunteers.
Listen to every Razorback baseball game on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Hey, Ty Richardson checking back in. Harry Robinson, Buick GMC, Exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith. Seth, I know we've got big Memorial Day weekend plans. I know you do. But as far as here goes, man, we got a lot going on. State sales tax paid on all your pre-owns. I was walking out. I got my Camry from here. There's a lot more than just Toyota Camrys. You got Buicks, you got GMCs. You got it all here at the lot.
Absolutely, Ty. Just like you said, state sales tax paid on all my pre-owned inventory out here. A bunch of deals going on. I have all makes and models, like you said, Toyota, Dodge, GMC, Ford, Chevy, you name it, I probably got it.
And what's the best part about it again when you walk in the revenue office? What?
You ain't got to pay that state sales tax. I'm taking care of it, baby.
It was not fun when I had to do it. So, Seth, again, come on by and see the team here today. Harry Robinson, Buick GMC, XC11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, where you always get more for your trade.
Looking for a fence that stands out and stands strong? Call the Fence Man, 479-782-3936. Serving the Fort Smith area for over 40 years, the Fence Man builds custom, one-of-a-kind fences, residential, commercial, and high security. Need automatic gates? The Fence Man does it. Need financing? You got it. 18-month financing is available. Get your free quote today at thefencemanar.com. or call 479-782-3936. The Fifth Man. He ain't afraid of no work.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
It's Kubota Orange Day sales event at Gray Brothers in Fort Smith and Poto. Whenever you're ready, we're ready with Kubota equipment in stock. Hay equipment to zero-turn mowers and Kubota tractors. From the small subcompact DX up to the large Kubota M7 cab tractor and everything in between. Why wait? When at Gray Brothers, it's in stock and on sale. That's Gray Brothers Equipment in Fort Smith and Poto, where if you pick orange, you'll never get a limit.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell.
In the cool of the evening, when everything is getting kind of groovy, I call you up and ask you if you'd like to go with me and see a movie. But you say no, plans for the night, and then you stop and say, it's kind of crazy with a spooky little girl like you. You always keep me guessing, I never seem to know what you are thinking. And if the world looks at you, look your little eye, you're winking.
You're listening to Halftime with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. The May Mayhem continues with special pricing on trucks, SUVs, and pre-owned vehicles across all locations. Salute the savings and visit Lewis Automotive today. Let's get back to the show with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
All right, back here on halftime, 11:17 a.m. here in the morning. Little Atlanta rhythm section right there to bring us back. Oh, I love that. Spooky. I bet Aaron Torres may be feeling a little bit spooky. He's on with us today, as he always is, at this time on Fridays on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. AT, man, how you doing? How are things happening out there in your part of the world? What's going on, man? How are you?
Everything's good, man. Everything's good. It's a little bit of a quieter time in the world of sports, so trying to take advantage. But, yeah, man, everything's good. How are you guys doing? How's life post you-know-who? I don't know if we're allowed to say that four-letter word anymore, so.
That's Phil,
words
by
that
the
are
way, banned, but we all, everybody's got love for Phil at this, so it's their
okay.
Got to do.
I didn't know if that was a four-letter word we could say on air or not. I didn't know.
No,
That's funny.
No hard feelings there. Just like there's no hard feelings for any of the jilted LSU fans that now have to deal with Ed Orgeron back in Baton Rouge. AT, what do you make of this? Eddie O back on the Bayou at LSU, and not necessarily the most glamorous role, but I imagine he'll be pretty hot and heavy on the recruiting trail for the Tigers down there. What do you make of this, AT?
Yeah, apparently the best way to be employed by LSU is to previously be fired by LSU, because Ed Orgeron, Will Wade, and Will Wade's literal lead assistant is Johnny Jones, who was the guy who Will Wade replaced the first time he became LSU head coach. So, I'll be honest. I don't know that I'm shocked. One, I think Lane Kiffin had kind of said publicly, we'd love to have him back in some role. Two, I'll be honest, guys, as Coach O got fired, I think 2022, maybe 2021, but 4 or 5 years ago. And we all know that the world of college sports has just changed so much, not just from NIL, this, that, whatever, but also from like this front office design that we are getting at minimum in football and basketball. I can't speak to every sport, but the recruiting operation is just so much more intricate. And I've often wondered, I started saying about a year ago, if I was running a program, I would want that guy leading my recruiting department. We know what a great recruiter he is, dating back to the meat market, Ole Miss, days 20 years ago. And for all of his shortcomings at LSU, he had guys like Justin Jefferson, which were 3-star recruits, which turned into obvious first-round NFL draft picks. So I always thought there was a role for him like this. It was obviously whether he was willing to take it or not. It's clear that, he was looking for head coaching opportunities this last offseason. If that's his actual role, I think it's a great deal. And then, by the way, on top of it, I had a buddy say, I didn't even see that the salary is like $100,000. Now, admittedly, they paid him $17 million to go away, and 4 or 5 years ago. So, whatever. But I mean, if you're paying $100,000 for one of the best recruiters to solely recruit, essentially, I think it's a heck of a bargain for LSU. And like I said, I'm surprised more schools, more programs didn't kick the tires on this one, even if it is a little weird because, of course, he was the sitting head coach about 4 or 5 years ago.
You bring up Will Wade, Aaron. What are your thoughts on this roster that he's constructing? Is it like an NBA Europe roster? I mean, it just seems older guys that have played professional all over. And, hey, if it's within the rules, I have no problem with it. Well, what's your thoughts on the roster he's getting there?
No, it's a totally – one, it's a fascinating conversation. Two, I even tweeted something the other day that I want to be careful how I specify it. You're allowed to bring over European players. The only player that I really essentially have an issue with, RJ Lewis, of course, or RJ Lewis is the player who was the Big East Player of the Year and actively 2 off seasons ago decided that he was done with college basketball, even though he was leaving NIL money on the table. And LSU reported this week that he is committed to play for them. So he's really the only one that I would have an issue with. And he falls very much under the Charles Bediako, was in college, willingly gave up his eligibility, and has decided to come back. Now, as far as the European guys are concerned, listen, there's a lot of things I don't love. But right now, everybody else except for RJ Lewis is within the rules. Now, you got to figure out transcripts and all that stuff, but it's within the rules. And if it's within the rules, I don't really have a problem with it. I also think what'll be interesting, Brent Fraschilla sent out a great tweet this morning who, covers college basketball for ESPN, but he's also done a lot of scouting in Europe. And, he kind of brought up an interesting point of, I'm paraphrasing, but basically, if these guys were so good, they'd play in the NBA, right? So I don't even know if the 25-year-old Israeli guard is even confirmed. There was a report that there's this 25-year-old Israeli guard that was drafted in 2020. Like, do I think that's pushing the bounds of the rules? Of course. Do I wish he hadn't done that? Of course. It's not even official yet, so maybe he hasn't. But lastly, what I would also say is, like, if that guy was that good, in theory, I would think he'd be in the NBA right now. And so that's, I think my biggest takeaway is the RJ Lewis stuff. It is against the rules. As the rules are written, he's going to need a judge to get that guy cleared. Everybody else, I don't love pushing the bounds of it, but right now it is the rules. And, oh, by the way, I think that's why there's such a push from the NCAA to put this 5-and-5 rule in so we don't keep pushing the bounds of 23, 24, 25-year-olds coming over and claiming them as college basketball players.
AT, you might not have much to say about this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. I'm a big soccer guy. Soccer is my favorite. NBA playoff basketball, we can get into that. I got a comp for you. I want to ask you about Malik Thomas. But first, are you excited? Are you pumped up about the World Cup coming to the States, or is it something that's just getting in the way?
Well, I'd be a lot more excited if tickets were affordable. You know, since it's been announced about 3-4 years ago, my father-in-law is a huge soccer fan. You know, not to get sad, he's getting up there in age, though. He's in his mid-70s, and I was really hoping to bring him to a match or two here in Los Angeles. Cheapest ticket for the worst game is like $350 per ticket. So, Man, I don't know if you got any contacts at FIFA, but if you could help your boy out, that would be very much appreciated. But no, you know, I think it's one of the few it's one of the few sporting events that I can just enjoy as a fan from the perspective of I know I'm not gonna have to break down, you know, Iran, Belgium on my podcast or radio. So you know, I can just sit there and watch like a fan. So I'll consume it, you know, transparently. I'll be away on vacation that first week that the tournament starts. So I'll probably be watching a lot of that first week from a beachside bar. But I think it's a fun thing. I think it's a fun thing to get into. And like I said, you know, it's fun for me because, like I said, I can just enjoy it without having to, you know, have a notepad or be really locked in, knowing that I'm going to talk about it on one of the platforms that I work for.
Aaron Torres is our guest. He joins us every Friday at this time on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. You can hear him on Fox Sports Radio and on the Aaron Torres podcast. Aaron, let's go back to college basketball. A big story out of Gainesville. Ruben Chinyelu announces he'll be coming back, and the Gators have to be feeling pretty good about their chances to make it back to college basketball's promised land. Condon, Hawk, now Chinyelu back as well. I mean, Todd Golden's just reloaded the same group and said, hey, let's run it back again. What do you make of that down there in Florida?
Yeah, you know, I really, I just give him credit. He's created an environment where people want to stay. You know, I think this is what NIL is supposed to be, right? These are players that have commercial value in Gainesville because they've been playing in college there for 2, 3, 4 years. And so, I think it's a net positive for college basketball. I don't know if it's a net positive for the SEC that's got to be going up against these guys because they're basically returning the entire core minus one guy, probably their fifth best starter, who essentially, they're returning their entire core of a team that just, for lack of a better term, just ran through the SEC the second half of last year. Now, they didn't win the conference tournament. That was, of course, Arkansas, and that's an incredible moment. I'm not trying to take away from what Arkansas did, but everybody knew that going into that tournament, Florida was the best team, the hottest team, whatever. So, I just bring it up because it's great for college basketball. Yeah, I don't know if it's great for, Tennessee and Arkansas and Alabama and everybody like that, because that is a heck of a ball club. And, yeah, Chinyelu was kind of that final piece. But like I said, this is the net positive of NIL. And this is how NIL is supposed to work, guys. Like I said, 2-3 years, those guys have been on campus. Everybody knows them. The local boosters and businessmen and women are willing to give. It is a good story that should be celebrated. Like I said, I just it's hard for me to see them finishing in fourth in the SEC. They're going to be the overwhelming favorites, not only in the SEC, but I believe a national championship favorite as well.
Hey, AT, I love comps. I love to see these kids and kind of project how good do you think these kids are going to be. Malik Thomas, I'm watching Mikal Bridges for the New York Knicks, and I'm like, that could be Malik Thomas in about 7 years. Do you think he could be that? I know Mikal Bridges is 6'8", Malik Thomas is 6'4", or do you think he's more like a Buddy Hield? What do you see like a projection for Malik Thomas in about 6 years?
I think it's a good comp, and we talked about it last week, I look at these mock drafts, and I don't claim to be a draft expert. I'm not on the phone with GMs all day. But we talked about it last week, Matt, because Malik has that one translatable skill that absolutely matters in 2026, 2027, which is three-point shooting. I honestly haven't understood why he's not higher in mock drafts. Now, you can argue, maybe the ceiling isn't maybe what a Darius Acuff is. But guess what? We're up to, 24, 28, 19. You don't need a Darius A. Cup. You need guys that fit specific things and do specific things, and Malik Thomas does that. And it's actually been somewhat surprising to me to see him so low in mock draft because of everything that I said. So I think Mikal Bridges, like you said, it's not total apples to apples because Mikal Bridges is probably a few inches taller. Defense, energy, three-point shooting. I think even on the Knicks, Miles McBride, I think, is another one that kind of fits the role that I could envision Malik Thomas playing. And so, I don't know what's going to happen, about a week from now. I guess it's less than a week from now, but I don't know what's going to happen a couple days from now. I just know that it feels to me like there is a very tangible role in the NBA for Malik Thomas if that's the decision that he made.
All right, AT, appreciate your time, as we always do on this Friday, man. Remember, you can say a lot of four-letter words. Definitely the one you tried to is fine, but there are a few you can't say, but I know you know what you're talking about. Thank you, AT.
Right.
Appreciate you, boss.
That's another one that I get approval for. Thank you. All right, guys. Talk soon. Thank you.
Thanks, AT. It's Aaron Torres right there on Aaron Torres Podcast, Fox Sports Radio.
He must be AARON because I was going to say Aaron would be another one, but I think he goes double A.
He does go double A. And,
okay.
He's major league with all the various connection issues and everything that's going on. We always get texts on that whenever AT joins us here on Halftime. Always appreciate his time every single Friday right here on Halftime with myself and Matt Jones. We're brought to you by Roback. Hey, Roback, if you want to take advantage of the nice weather in Arkansas, although it is raining right now, you can get a hoodie to cover up from the rain. Take advantage of the weather in Arkansas with our friends at Roback. They have the gear for your perfect summer days and these rainy ones, too. They got fresh polos, hoodies, Q-zips, and more in the American Summer Collection right now at Roback.com. You can use the code RUSH26 to check out on Roback.com for 20% of your first order. That's Roback.com. Roback.com. All right, we'll be back here in just a minute. Talk a little bit about what AT said about some of those college basketball topics. Give you an update right here from Bogle Park. Right now, it is the bottom of the first. Actually, it's the top of the second now. Arkansas has a 2-1 lead over the Duke Blue Devils over there at Bogle Park. We'll be keeping you updated on that softball super regional matchup as we go on today throughout halftime. All right, back in just a minute here on ESPN Arkansas.
The Razorbacks are on the road to Hoover for the SEC tournament, and ESPN Arkansas will be there from the first pitch to the final out. Our exclusive coverage is brought to you by Butler Furniture and Mountain Home. All the action in Hoover is also brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV, and by Walk On Sports Bistro.
And the Hogs have won it on Turner's second home run of the year. Oh, my goodness. This one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Attention skilled craftsmen, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is hiring only the best that the natural state has to offer. If you're ready for your next big opportunity to have steady work and better pay, Bath Makeover of Arkansas is ready to talk to you. Bath Makeover is looking for plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers to help us keep up with high demand. Bath Makeover is growing our commercial division as well, with the ability to now install over 100 bathrooms a month. Bath Makeover can knock out multi-unit projects quickly. Easily 10 bathrooms at a time in a single week at hotels, apartments, and government housing all across Arkansas. Bath Makeover of Arkansas is looking for only experienced and qualified skilled craftsmen to join our talented team. To learn more about the job opportunities at Bath Makeover of Arkansas, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com. Plumbers, electricians, bathroom installers, and project managers, visit bathmakeoverar.com. That's bathmakeoverar.com.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Ty Richardson, we are here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. I got my residential Dallas Cowboy fans here, Jimmy. All right, so what are you more optimistic about? The deals you got going on there or the upcoming season?
I'm absolutely more optimistic about this sale that we've got going on right here in Fort Smith, Arkansas, right here at Harry Robinson GMC. Now, listen, we've got so many good deals going on right now. Sales tax paid on all our pre-owned vehicles. We've got a lot of new vehicles to choose from as well. So if you haven't taken a look at all of our inventory, you got to come out and take a look at what we've got. I'm telling you, our lot's packed full.
Yeah, and you guys have added, again, a ton of pre-owns. Plus, you got all these 2026 news. You got 5 2025 still remaining. Come on by and see Jimmy, the Cowboys fan here on the lot. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, X11, I-540 in Fort Smith.
The best Tex-Mex and even better service is at Joe's Grill and Cantina in Fort Smith. Every day, Joe's Grill makes fresh from scratch salsas, queso dip, and guacamole with crispy warm chips to start your meal. Plus fajitas, enchiladas, tacos, burritos, and more that will make your experience one you won't forget. Great Tex-Mex and even better service. Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Spring is here, and at WT Equipment, we're doing some spring cleaning of our Hustler zero-turn inventory. That means serious savings with 0% financing for 42 months on new Hustler zero-turn mowers. If your grass is growing, it's time to upgrade your cut with speed, precision, and durability of a Hustler. Come see us today at WT Equipment in Springdale or visit WTEquip.com and take advantage of these limited-time spring deals. Hustler, cut better, cut faster.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Brad Howe in Van Buren or call Ryan Hughes in Fort Smith.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
I'm so in love with you. Whatever you want to do is all right with me. Make me feel so brand new. I want to spend my life with you. The same thing, baby, since we've been together. Oh, loving you forever is what I need.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. This Memorial Day weekend, Lewis Automotive Group is honoring those who served with unbeatable deals. Let's get back to the show with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
No Christian Johnston today. He did not want to stay together with us, unfortunately. No, he with his wife, they're having fun on a vacation. A perfect time to do it, too. Go on Memorial Day weekend. Christian Springdale texted us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. You can, too, 877-377-6963. He asked us if we're going to have a good Memorial Day weekend. I know I sure am. I don't have to do a whole lot, which is fantastic. Like you said, Matt, whenever there's like New Year's, July 4th, all those big holidays like that where you know there's going to be a bunch of just drunks on the road, I'd like to just stay home.
Stay home. Is it what's your go-to today? I mean, on the Memorial Day holiday, is it brats, burgers, hot dogs? What's kind of what do you think the go-to food is on Memorial Day?
It's got to be hot dogs and brats for me.
That's very American.
I do like a good burger as well, but I do I'm always going to choose a bratwurst over a hot dog. That's just my personal preference.
Mustard and onion.
Mustard and onion. Got to
Mhm,
have it all on
mhm.
there. And hopefully I can get that grilled out. And I need to clean my grill up a little bit before I use it. I keep it outside in a storage shed. It has a cover on it, but it's just been it's seen a little bit of weather, so I need to make sure
Warm
it's,
it up. I
good to
saw
go.
this on YouTube the other day, Colton. I'm sure everybody has their own tricks and trades, of being a grill master. I saw this on YouTube for the first time. You cut an onion in half, and after you warm the grill up, you kind
it on
of
the
rub.
tab.
I've never done that before though, but apparently that works a little bit.
I have a Blackstone, and I recommend a Blackstone grill to literally everybody. It's extremely easy to use. It's very, very it's actually fun to grill on the Blackstone, but it does require a lot of maintenance. You got to make sure that thing is correctly seasoned once you get it. It takes about an hour for you to put all the layers of oil on there and watch it smoke off, and then you got to do that basically almost after every single time that you use it. Make sure that it's all cleaned, and you got to make sure that the seasoned part of the grill is still intact. Otherwise, you'll have stuff sticking to it, and it's just no good. But I've made a lot of stuff on there. Pizza. I've made obviously breakfast foods. Tons of stuff on there. I'll have to break that out this weekend for Memorial Day. What are you guys doing for Memorial Day? Call us, text us with your plans, 877-377-6963. Chris in Springdale, he's a brought over hot dog
All
guy,
day,
too.
every day.
Mhm.
Yes,
and he likes
sir.
the spicy mustard. I like spicy mustard too.
I
And I don't know if I can say, I think it's French's that makes like a jalapeno mustard that is it is just delectable, just to die for. And I'm looking forward to that this weekend. It should be a lot of fun.
Regular mustard, any kind of mustard, but to be honest with you, I like raw onions. Do you do the raw or the grilled onions?
I'll do either one. Onions are great. They're good for you. They taste great. They enhance almost every single thing that you put them on. I like the little bit of that crunch. I don't want it
Yeah.
to be too slimy.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Don't want it to be too slimy there. Hey, speaking of slimy, Matt, you asked Aaron Torres about Will Wade.
It's slimy.
It's I mean, there's very few other adjectives that would describe him quite that way, other than just disproportionate with his body. His hips are wider than his shoulders, which is pretty amusing to watch when he puts his hands on them and is waiting for a call, which we'll see a lot this year of in Baton Rouge and down in the SEC throughout basketball season. It's getting really, really hard to stay in tune with college basketball. And this eligibility thing is really only plaguing college basketball right now. But you asked him about the international players, and I think that most people are in agreement that the European Pro Leagues is obviously very different than playing in the NBA G League or in the NBA overall. And obviously, Aaron made reference to RJ Luis, who played at St. John's. You played him in the tournament in Coach Cal's first year. He was the Big East Player of the Year. And look, he got some bad advice. He didn't know and didn't realize that the NIL draw he was going to get would have been bigger than whatever he was going to make in the G League, and he had a lot more chance to have success if he had come back to college. But now he's trying to come back to college. Matt, why is eligibility right now? Why are we so confused about this? For years, for eons, for centuries, eligibility was pretty cut and dry. Once you went pro, once you left college, you were done. And it's confusing for me. It's confusing for a lot of fans too, and it also just leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
It's a big turnoff. College, you think, you leave high school when you're around 18. You go to college for 4 to 5 years. So by the time you're done, you're 22, 23. And look, I'm not against people earning money. I'm not against people trying to have an education. I'm not even against Europeans coming over to play sports over here. And what's happened, honestly, Colton, is the second best way to make a living playing basketball is college basketball in America. Like the NBA's first, college basketball would be second, and then I think maybe you would go Spain, France, countries like that would be where you could go off and make a living. That would be high level basketball as well. But and here's the thing too: when you get 25-year-old kids, they're just tougher and stronger. You're more of a. It's about your prime. When you think about, well, when's the best you felt as an athlete? Like when you were the most athletic physically. That's about it. About when you're 24, 25, 26. And then you got to kind of change your game, and you got to start being a little more cerebral. Hopefully you have a higher IQ because of all you play. And you see guys change their game. Like you've seen LeBron change his game. We all know he's not the same athlete, but he's so talented at other things. So I think it's an advantage to LSU. Like, and I'm with Aaron. And I agree the fact that if it's within the rules, then hey, until they change the rules, let's go do it. Do I like the rule? Absolutely not. The NCAA has no backbone. Like whatever's going on, it's like I think they just make it up as they go because the truth, like we just said, they're making so much money. Why are they trying to mess it up?
Yeah, and sticking with this college basketball theme right here, like you mentioned, I mean, the best way to make money now outside of the association and in the NBA is in college basketball. So you know that's on the mind of Malik Thomas. You know it's on the mind of Billy Richmond. And they have until May 27th here in just a handful of days at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. So they have until midnight on May 27th to kind of figure out whether or not they're going to come back or stay. I know that we talked to Kristen Peak this morning on our program on the Morning Rush, and she talked about kind of how the vibe sort of seems like Malik's going to end up probably staying. He's heard some good things. He went through a lot of draft interviews, and likely that Billy Richmond comes back. Matt, you would like to think that money is not the only thing that's going to have these guys making their decisions at the end of the day, but is that too far of a bridge?
If I'm not here's the deal, and I'm all for kids chasing their dreams. And here's what happens. When you're drafted in the first round, the GM, the head coach, the people that chose you, you're going to get every single opportunity. Like they want to be right as well. So they're going to try their best. I mean, you see guys, what was that? Markell's Fultz, the guy from Philadelphia that was absolutely horrible because he was
shot,
and so they're going to get in. So if you're a first rounder, I would always tell the kids to go. Like if you know that you're going to be a first round draft pick, go. If you're not going to be a first-round draft pick, it doesn't make any sense to not come back, play 40 college basketball games against kids. Now, there's some older guys, but it's a grown man's game in the NBA. Like, that's grown men playing 82 games, banging, a little bit different. College basketball is going to be easier on your body, and you get to make – these kids we're talking about, there's no way that you're not making at least $2 million if you're Malik Thomas or Billy Richmond playing for the Hogs. I'd be like, come on. And selfishly, you're like, come on back. But if you're a first rounder, go. Selfishly, I wanted to see that kid from Florida get out of the SEC.
Some text here coming in on our Lewis Automotive Hotline talking about this subject with obviously eligibility and how just how big that college basketball has gotten in terms of their salaries and NIL and everything like that. Text here from Eddie in Russellville. It's confusing because once you're paid, you're no longer an amateur, and that's kind of what everybody that's been watching college for so long has sort of felt. So good text there from Eddie. He also wanted me to know that a Blackstone isn't a grill; it's a flat top. Well, I'm no Julia Child when it comes to culinary skills. I'm just a regular child. So apologies for that, Eddie, but thank you for the correction. I mean, that's a very important distinction. Joey here texting in on the Lewis Automotive Hotline as well. He said, he said, what's confusing? The court's already said no. Alabama, case in point, they should not be eligible. They won't be eligible. And at the end of the day, I think that's how things are going to work out with RJ Lewis as well for LSU. This is a kid that already had logged minutes in an NBA G League game. He had already forfeited some of the, responsibilities that you have as a college player, and he went to play in the pros, whether it be a developmental league or not. I think that voiding that contract in a way, it just shouldn't give you any extra thing. Hog Wild and Van Buren here, 23, 24, 25-year-old men, especially the bigs, they're grown-ass men. He says GAM. He gives it a nice little acronym right there. So plenty of outstanding thoughts here on the Lewis Automotive Hotline about this eligibility stuff that shouldn't be confusing, but apparently it is. Like Eddie said, it's confusing because once you're paid, you're no longer an amateur. Josefa also texting in here said it was supposed to be sacred. Now it's almost a joke. He's still going to watch every single minute, though, as are most people, because it's still gripping television. And the only reason I, click the power button on my TV anymore is to watch live sports. So plenty of outstanding thoughts and opinions on this eligibility thing. And I just hope eventually somebody with some real power will get some things cleaned up, because tradition is occasionally okay to change. We're going through some of that here. But sometimes you have to go back to what's worked for a long time. I don't think that the old adage of if it's broke, don't fix it doesn't apply here. I think that's a pretty fitting moniker for that. So we'll take a break right here and come back on halftime and just a little bit, wrap it up, give you your today in review. But before we do that, I want to remind you that Bet Saracen is Arkansas's favorite sports betting app. And for those who like to make a little wager on their favorite sporting event, Bet Saracen is as close as your cell phone, which is probably in one of your hands right now. If you want to follow the odds, favorites, and underdogs, Bet Saracen is where you want to be. you need to make sure that you're on the Bet Saracen app. It's really simple. You go to the App Store, download Bet Saracen, or go to betsaracen.com, and be sure to check out the really cool How to Play video featuring Jancy Sheets. You also get a welcome bonus when you sign up. Use code WELCOME, deposit at least $25, and place a $25 bet. And once that settles, you'll have $125 in free bets. Bet Saracen is the most popular sports book app in the state. Bet with Bet Saracen. We'll come back in a little bit and wrap it up right here in hour number 1 at halftime. Stay tuned.
Did you say, can I get the ugliest shoes you make and let me wear them? Mine are pretty fire.
This is halftime.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Hey, Ty Richardson back here. Harry Robinson, Buick GMC, XC11, I-540 Fort Smith. Years ago, I got my pre-owned vehicle, my Toyota Camry, so I'm driving it to this day. I didn't get my state sales tax paid, though. And, Devontae, you guys are doing it this month, man, through the end of the month, paying everyone's state sales tax on their pre-owned vehicle.
That's right, Ty. We are taking care of every single person's state sales tax on pre-owned vehicles.
You got cars, trucks, SUVs. You got a lot of inventory out there, man.
We've got lots and lots of GMC Sierras, and they are flying off the lot.
Yeah, those are up to $11,000 off. I took a video of it yesterday. Got a few friends that have some of those. Great truck, Devontae.
Great American-made trucks. Yes, sir.
Right here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC, XC11, I-540 in Fort Smith. State sales tax paid going on through the end of the month. Come by and see us this Memorial Day weekend. Harry Robinson Buick GMC.
It's time to get ready for the Old Fort Days Rodeo, and Jelco Outdoors, the official provider of Old Fort Days Rodeo merchandise, is ready to get you there in style. Caps, t-shirts, and other items for men, women, and children. Save on Ariat and Wrangler jeans with our buy two pair, get one free deal. Cowboy hats by Ariat and Justin. Select Western boots, buy one, get one free. Get ready for the Old Fort Days Rodeo at Jelco Outdoors. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Summer is finally here. Come check out Kofer's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Kofer's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Actus wake surf boats, Camus bass boats, and Kofer's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Kofer's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Plus, they have the best boat storage option in town. Find them online at Kofer's.com. That's COPHERS.com. Kofer's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
When a business has been around more than 65 years, you know they're doing something right. Hey, Ty Richardson for Johnny's Transmission. They've been trusted in Fort Smith and the River Valley since 1959. Located at 1212 Phoenix Avenue in Fort Smith, they strive to make every customer's experience outstanding and want your vehicle to be in the best condition for the road ahead. Check out their website, johnnystransmissionfs.com, and find them on Facebook. Johnny's Transmission, family owned and operated since 1959.
You will never find a boring old burger at Art's Barbecue and Burgers in Fort Smith. Try the Wild West Burger, topped with a hot link, jalapenos, and Art's hot sauce. The Brisket Burger, with tender brisket and caramelized onions on top of their ham-patty burger. Or the famous Art Attack, with house bacon, smoked ham, an onion ring, and a fried egg. There are 10 different burgers to choose from, and they're all $1 off every Saturday. Art's Barbecue Burgers and more. Rogers Avenue, next to Buddy's in Fort Smith.
Pick me up, love. Pick me up. Pick me up from the bottom up to the top, love, every day. Ain't no mind to talk sorry fancies. Take my chances on every day. Left to right, up and down, love, push up, love, every day. Jump in the mud, get your hands dirty with it up, every day. All you need is
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. This Memorial Day weekend, Lewis Automotive Group is honoring those who served with unbeatable deals. Let's get back to the show with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
Every Day right there by Dave Matthews Band, very fitting because we give you the day in review every day here on Halftime. And today's famous birthdays: in 1986, Julian Edelman; 1987, Novak Djokovic.
What
one
about
of the original Jokers?
What about the thirst trap? You remember after the first Super Bowl when that girl posted a video because she shagged Julian Edelman? Do you remember that going around social media?
Shagged, what a very British term.
Okay.
Absolutely, yes, I do remember that. Julian Edelman. Former lacrosse player, Kent State. Former college quarterback.
Kent State. That's where your boy Saban went to school, man.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Also, Tommy John, born on this day in 1943. I'll never forget the quote about when he had that famous surgery that's named after him, that he asked for a Koufax fastball, but they gave him Mrs. Koufax fastball. That's a good one. Also born on this day in 1947, Matt, you may not have heard of this person, but you definitely should have, because they have one of the greatest names I've ever heard in my entire life. I can't tell you anything else about them, but his name, he's a former wide receiver for the Cleveland Browns. His name was Fair, like County Fair, Hooker. Fair Hooker. So do with that what you will. Historic events that happened today. You have died of dysentery. Or at least you did if you joined the Oregon Trail and played that video game back in the day. But the first wagon train departs from Independence, Missouri for Oregon with 700 to 1,000 migrants on this day in 1843. Matt, this will interest you. You're a big Yanni Carson fan. His final appearance as the host of The Tonight Show was today in 1992.
Oh, I do like Yanni Carson. There was about a year and a half, 2-year window, Colton, where he was coming on at 9 o'clock on like a free TV, one of the free TV stations. And I love just the aesthetics of it. I love like seeing 1973 Burt Reynolds walk out, and you're just like, oh, he was a rock star. It was so cool to see life through that lens. You are a big time Yanni Carson fan.
Yeah, and I mean, I've started to kind of read a little bit more just about the host of the Tonight Show and doing those late night television gigs. As a kid, I always wanted to be, one of the hosts of one of those shows, and so I've been reading a little bit about the transition from Carson to Leno and Letterman and all that stuff, and it's very interesting. Also today, we may have to play this song, 1965, Beatles, Ticket to Ride. The single goes #1, and in 1980. The video game Pac-Man, created by Toru Iwatani, is first released in Japan.
Do you know that it was going to be called Puck-Man, but that they were scared that people would erase? That's a, what's the Michael Cera movie? That's a movie quote from, I'll think, coming out of the break.
We'll think of it and we'll come back to
it.
All right, we'll come back here, wrap up. We got hour number 1 wrapped up right here. We'll come back for hour number 2 in just a minute. We have James Teague, Fish City Friday Trivia, and more, so stay tuned for hour number 2 at halftime on ESPN Arkansas.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful, not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com, LIMBIRD.
This spring, you're organizing closets, decluttering drawers, and maybe even scrubbing places no one will ever look. But here's the thought, why not declutter your internet too? If your shows keep buffering, your games lag, or your video calls freeze, that's digital clutter, and you don't have to live with it. Switch to Wave Rural Connect Fiber for fast, reliable internet that keeps your home running clean and clear all season long. Visit waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-492-8372.
Doe's Eat Place has been serving award-winning steaks for over 20 years, and now they're offering smoked prime rib on the weekends. It's a limited supply, so get your reservations in early. Try one of their delicious appetizers or your choice of drinks from the area's largest selection of wine, beer, and liquor. Doe's Eat Place open Tuesday through Thursday 5 to 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Follow them on Facebook for more upcoming features and events. Call 479-784-9111 for Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, showers and a chance of thunderstorms or high temperatures this afternoon in the low 70s north, upper 70s south. More isolated showers and thunderstorms overnight. Lows will drop down upper 50s to low 60s overnight. And then a chance of showers and storms Saturday, a high in the upper 70s to low 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for wine, specialty beers, and liquor. Located at 12100 Highway 71 South in Fort Smith. KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Lights Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Yeah.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Kristen Johnston.
From the bottom of my Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no Moss at halftime.
Number one Razorback, vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Kristen Johnston.
All right, back here, hour number 2 of halftime. I got a lot to get into this hour. We'll have James Teague, Fish City Friday trivia as well coming up at the end of the hour. Also, got plenty of stuff as well. Matt Jones, Colton Little here on halftime. 2 slices of white bread. I wish we had a nice heaping scoop of tuna to put right in the middle of it, but it turns out we do. He's called us here on the Lewis Automotive Hotline. You can too, 877-377-6963. Charlie, good afternoon. What's going on, boss? What do you got on your mind today?
Man, look, if y'all gonna put this tuna in there, look, y'all better. Matt, what you put on your tuna fish? Man?
Little tuna gazpacho. I like to get a long straw and go to the thing at Subway and get down there and get the tuna juice.
Oh God.
Man, you better.
Mustard. I like mustard and pickle. There you go.
Yeah, man, just yeah. Cause
what do you do, tuna?
I throw a little mayonnaise in there, man. I'm not big on nothing else really. That's it. But a lot of times I'll eat it just
Out of
regular,
the can,
like a
man.
regular.
Give me some saltines
Yeah.
and a fork, and I'll eat it right out of the can.
It's healthy. It's healthy. It's good for you. But no, look about the game last night. Obviously, the Knicks, took control of that one last night. Look, even if let's just go ahead and say, like, I'm gonna go ahead and say this: I'm not counting Cleveland out or nothing like that. I'm not doing that because anything could change. Somebody get hurt or whatever. But just say the Knicks go to the finals. Let's say I don't know. I think Cleveland will at least get one at home. Maybe they don't, but I think they will at least get one. I think they need to get game 3 for their psyche. So if the Knicks go to the finals, my only thing is with them, Colton, their bench, it's okay. I mean, it's not. They got some pieces. I mean, it's not. I guess it's hard to be like, well, I'm going to compare them to OKC or something, because like those two benches are the best in the league, probably two of the better ones. But they do have some pieces. They do have some depth. And I'll say this, as far as the way they play, they play so physical. They play hard. They defend. I think it would. I mean, it would be cool to see them play well in the finals. Hey, I don't even remember when the last time the Knicks won, but when you got a guy like Josh Hart, kind of reminds me of Caruso a little bit, but kind of does a little bit of everything. And then he goes in there last night, and I don't know how many he scored, but he balled. And so when he does that, he's like the guy that at the end of the game, the plus minus is always high on him. When you look at his plus minus at the end of the game, one of my favorite stats in basketball, his is always really high. Caruso, those kind of guys, and you need them to win. I just don't, I don't know if they'll have enough for either of those teams in the West. But as far as the baseball game goes today, look, you just want to go out there, compete, give yourself a chance. Guys, I guess they are throwing what's his name today. How has Dave talked about maybe how long, or is it just going to depend on how he plays?
I think it's probably going to depend on how he plays, Charlie. Yeah, I don't think he said anything about, limiting his pitches or anything like that.
Yeah. The thing about it, I think you battle as a coach, so they at least got to this day. You don't want to not throw him because he might lose his rhythm too, right? I think a lot of pitchers get used to that rhythm of, once a week or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, I hope it goes well for him, and we'll see. Maybe they can continue to develop some other arms. I personally, I hope he plays well and doesn't go longer than 3 or 4. I mean, I'd get him out of there pretty quick. I mean, if I could, but that'd be my call. Because Wiggins is done, right? We're not worried about him. He's done. Okay. Yep. So we just need to continue to, develop some of these other guys. Hopefully a few of them step up. The only, I guess, advantage to the winning this tournament, do you guys think they have a chance at a regional at this point? Colton, do you think they get one
if they go
win this tournament?
Yeah, if they go all the way and win this tournament, there's almost no way. They'd be beating teams that are extremely high up there in the RPI right now, and that would vault them comfortably into a spot to host. The only problem is if you get down there, you're likely going to be probably the 15, 16 seed to host, which means you'll be taking on one of the top dogs if you make it out of that regional in a super regional, and you'd likely end up having to go on the road. So, Charlie, appreciate the call, man, as always, like we do at 12 o'clock noon here every day on Halftime. And like Charlie was talking about with the Knicks in this Cavs series, I'm standing in wholehearted agreement right there with Charlie. You do have to feel like that if the Knicks are able to make it out of this series with the Cleveland Cavaliers, Matt, they're going to have a really tough task no matter who comes out of the West, whether it be the Thunder or the Spurs, and that series is notched up at 1 game apiece right now. Star power for the Knicks. Obviously, you do have a great player in Jalen Brunson. You have a franchise cornerstone in a guy like Karl Anthony Towns. And like you mentioned, guys like Michael Bridges, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby. Those are really solid pieces that are able to go out there and play extremely high-level basketball in these conference finals, in the NBA playoffs, and still prove their value every single night. But when it comes down to it, whenever they make it out of that Eastern Conference Finals and they end up making it back to their first finals in quite a while, you still probably, as most Knicks fans would feel like myself, that there's just not a lot there that's going to give you a lot of confidence as you take on either San Antonio and the alien Victor Wembanyama or the 2-time reigning MVP SGA and the Thunder.
And to your point, I hear what you. I think I'm with you. I think both. If everybody's healthy, I'm taking both the teams out of the West over the Knicks. But here's the thing I want to ask you. Who's the New York Knicks' second primary ball handler? Is it Josh Hart? Is it somebody on the like? So I've noticed it. And look, if something happens to Jalen Brunson, it ain't gonna. You got to alleviate a little pressure from him. I mean, you got to somewhere down the line, because Oklahoma City's defense is just ferocious. But I wonder who else can help Brunson carrying up the ball for the New York Knicks.
Well, you know, they've got guys like Aaron Torres mentioned earlier and a Miles McBride. They do have veterans like Jose Alvarado as well. And then, you know, one guy that's also been extremely valuable for this franchise these last handful of games so far in the playoffs has been a veteran in Jordan Clarkson, who's played almost every single position you can on a basketball floor, short of obviously center, limited due to his height. But Jordan Clarkson's also somebody that I may not trust to take a whole bunch of shots in a game, but I do trust with the ball in his hands.
Not turn
the ball over, to make smart plays, to figure out how to get the best players on the court right there, the best scorers in position to get buckets for the Knicks. So obviously tonight, Western Conference Finals at 8:30 on NBA and Peacock. It's 8:30 Eastern time, so 7:30 here in the natural state. You can watch San Antonio and Oklahoma City square off in Game 3. But I also want to touch a little bit on what Charlie talked about right there with the baseball team. Yes, you do end up getting to see Hunter Dietz. It is a Dietz day today down there in Hoover. He'll be facing off against Texas and that lineup down there. And, you know, we kind of buried the lead a little bit so far today talking about this baseball matchup. Obviously, it's a big one, and anytime that you are going up against a hated rival like the Texas Longhorns, it obviously means quite a bit more. But I mean, you know, if I'm Arkansas, I do have to realize that Texas is not starting Dylan Volantis, who's been their ace all season long. They're actually going to go with a different pitcher. Jim Schlossnagle did say that you're likely to still see Volantis a little bit today, kind of for the same reasons that Charlie mentioned. You just want to make sure that these guys stay in a little bit of rhythm. You don't want them to have to be, you know, waiting too long in between times they're out there on the mound, because that can affect not only just, you know, the freshness of their arm and, you know, how they're feeling, but also their psyche a little bit too, Matt. And you know what that's like. Like during a bye week in the NFL or during college football season, you kind of just like don't know what to do with your hands on a Saturday or a Sunday morning. It's just kind of like, man, what are we doing like that? So I do think that Texas is obviously trying to play it with their pitching staff pretty smart. They have a regional spot locked up. They'll be hosting one as well. So Arkansas versus Texas today, Matt. And the Longhorns are 2-8 versus Arkansas in their last 10 matchups. And they've lost 5 consecutive in a row. And since 2004, they're 5-11 overall. So Arkansas baseball fans, some good stats for you right there that may make you feel a little bit better going into this game with the Texas Longhorns. First pitch scheduled today for 3 o'clock down there in Hoover, Alabama. Matt, do you really hate Texas? Are we supposed to hate Texas?
Well, so you'll if we, as long as we'll work together, you'll never hear me use the HAT word.
Right.
I don't hate anybody. Is there a strong dislike for Texas? Yeah, you're kind of taught that. But here's the thing with me, man. I respect players that are good at their craft. Absolutely. I don't care where you play. If you're really good, I want to see you play. But there was always something special about playing against Texas. Was able to go 1-1 against Texas. One of the best, joyful victories ever. We went down to Austin and beat the Longhorns. And then the next year they came into Fayetteville and they got by us. And it's the last game I ever cried after. You know, but so yes, it meant something. It was very emotional. But the last game I played, the last game I cried after, Colton, was against Oregon State when Arkansas was in the College World Series and they dropped that pop-up. I started to tear up. Like I really –
Me too.
And so that was something. But as far as Texas, you know, Coach, now we were going down to play against Austin and the Texas Longhorns, and you know, Jerry Jones shows up, Jim Lindsey shows up. Mm-hmm. You could tell what it meant to everybody. You want to go out there and beat Tech. You know, in the 60s and 70s, when kids were trying to go to Texas from the state of Texas, and they couldn't get a scholarship, and Arkansas offered them, so they all had that, you know, that chip on their shoulder. Yeah. They wanted to go out there and prove to them that they should have been there. So whatever reason you got to get a chip on your shoulder, I dig it. Mm-hmm. But no, obviously, anytime Texas, you circle it. Anytime we're matched up against Texas, let's circle it.
Yeah, it should be a fun one today as the Razorbacks take on the Longhorns. First pitch scheduled for 3 o'clock. We'll have the dugout show and everything right here on most of our ESPN Arkansas stations, as well as the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell. And hey, while you're on the Hit That Line Now app, you can also see that all of our podcasts are on there as well. The Morning Rush, Halftime with myself and Matt Jones and Christian, Ruskin and Zach. They have everything that you need from all of our shows here every single day on the Hit That Line Now app. All of our podcasts, all of the articles on there on the hitthatline.com. All of our links to our YouTube and all the live stream videos are on there as well. And you can listen to us live on the Hit That Line Now app powered by Taco Bell. All right, we're going to come back in just a little bit. Going to talk to James Teague from the Teague Law Firm about the best time of year for baseball players. No more school, just tournament time. Talk to him a little bit about that, what he thinks about this matchup with Texas today, and a little bit more baseball talk, obviously, with James Teague. Back in just a minute here on Halftime to start hour number 2 here on ESPN Arkansas.
The Razorbacks are on the road to Hoover for the SEC tournament, and ESPN Arkansas will be there from the first pitch to the final out. Our exclusive coverage is brought to you by Butler Furniture and Mountain Home. All the action in Hoover is also brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV, and by Walk On Sports Bistro.
And the Hogs have won it on Turner's second home run of the year. Oh, my goodness. This one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Swinging a drive, right field. A rocket headed to the Hunt Center. Out of here. Hit in the air, left field. Gonna carry. Going back is Bargo. Bargo's at the wall. He leaped out of here. They have the turkey on the table. They've taken the biggest bite they can have. He struck him out swinging. Omaha for the Razorbacks in 2025. Back where they belong.
Listen to every Razorback baseball game on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com. ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Hey, Ty Richardson checking in. Harry Robinson, Buick GMC, XC11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. If you ask nicely when you walk into Derek's office, he might let you putt something. I don't know. Derek, are you good at golf? I know you're good. I know you're good when it comes to vehicles.
Yeah, that and fishing. Other than golf, not so much.
Okay.
But, hey, guys.
At least you're honest. The honest guy.
Hey, state sales tax is back on our pre-owned. We've got more than 400 vehicles here on the lot. Huge.
Did you say 400?
Yeah, 400 plus. We just got over 80 cars in that we've bought to help you guys. Don't be worried about your credit. We've got vehicles for all credit types. The new line is huge right now. We've got up to $10,000, $11,000 off on these new ones. Guys, we've got 2.9% on 72 months standalone on these new trucks as well. Guys, you got to come see us. Now is the time. You come in, ask for Derek, please. I'll take care of you.
He will. Harry Robinson, Buick GMC, XC11, I-540 in Fort Smith.
Selling your home doesn't have to be stressful. Not when you work with Tara Limbird and the Limbird Real Estate Group. With over $1 billion in real estate sold, Tara's team knows how to make the process simple, successful, and even enjoyable. They can provide you with a cash offer in 72 hours, or you can use Tara's high-octane marketing and sell your home for thousands over asking. When it's time to buy or sell, trust the team that delivers results. Go to LimbirdTeam.com. LIMBIRD.
Looking for a career with a company built to last? At Forsgren, we've been shaping the future of the River Valley since 1936. Nearly 90 years of excellence, innovation, and family-driven leadership. From sidewalks that still stand today to major infrastructure projects across the region, our legacy is built on quality and community. Apply now at GoForsgren.com. Join the Forsgren legacy, where your work becomes part of something lasting. Forsgren, building the foundation of the River Valley for 4 generations. Apply now at GoForsgren.com.
Feel the adrenaline on the road and turn every head. The Polaris Slingshot is here and it's waiting for you at Wheeler Power Sports. This is not a car, not a motorcycle. This is raw power, open air, and pure attitude on 3 wheels. Hit the gas, hug the curves, and make every drive an event. Don't just ride, arrive. Get behind the wheel of a Polaris Slingshot today at Wheeler Power Sports. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling since 1967.
It's sad that we live in an unsafe world, but we do. Would you be able to show the police who was at your home if something was taken? Guardtronic installs alarm systems as well as camera systems. We here at ESPN rely on our Guardtronic installed cameras to keep an eye on what's going on around our building, as many of you do. Guardtronic has been serving the River Valley for over 60 years. Call Guardtronic for a free estimate so you'll be able to show the police who the bad boys are that took your belongings. License E50.
ESPN Arkansas is growing, and we're looking for motivated sales professionals with digital marketing and media sales experience to join our team. If you have a background in digital or media sales, love sports, and enjoy building relationships and helping businesses grow, we want to hear from you. We offer excellent pay, a market-leading commission structure, and full benefits including health, dental, vision, and life insurance. Ready to join an exciting team environment where every day is different? Send your resume to sales@hitthatline.com. That's sales@hitthatline.com. Pearson Broadcasting is an equal opportunity employer. The Hit That Line Now app is ready for you to download from the Apple and Google Play stores. Sponsored by Taco Bell. Live Moss.
Yeah. Tips, sparks fly from fingertips. Echo voices in the night. She's a restless spirit on an endless flight. She won't see how high she flies. She won't. She got the love in her eye.
Find halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Join the conversation. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. The May Mayhem continues with special pricing on trucks, SUVs, and pre-owned vehicles across all locations. Salute the savings and visit Lewis Automotive today. Now, here's Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
We're efforting to get James Teague on the phone. We'll have him here in just a minute. Matt, tell me what you're thinking right now about this Razorback football team as we move forward here just a little
okay.
bit.
Yeah. No, I'm a big fan right now of what Coach Silverfield's doing. I'm a big fan of putting up a fence around the state of Arkansas and getting your in-state talent. I do like our quarterback situation. I like both these kids. I think KJ Jackson will be the starter. I'm not going to be surprised if in the first 3 games both those quarterbacks play. Things can happen. I'm really, really excited to see how they use Braylon Russell. Like I think that dude can play on Sundays. I think he can be an all-conference running back. I think he's extremely talented. I'm a big-time Braylon Russell fan. I think that the last regime didn't know how to use him, and for whatever reason. So I'll be interested there. I want to see if our defense, if we fly around, because it seems like our defense, we have 1 cornerback, 2 linebackers, 1 defensive end, and it's like that's kind of what we got, and we got to kind of plug and patch with other players. So I'm going to be interested to see if we can take an uptick. We got to take an uptick on defense. Like our defense has to be a little better. If you look back, in all honesty, if you look back in any time the Arkansas Razorbacks have a good team, they have a really strong free safety. They have a safety that's going to go play on Sundays. They have linebackers. They have a better defense. They have a running game. On offense is so fun. Don't get me wrong, but all you need is 3 players. You need a receiver, a quarterback, and a running back that are elite. And then let's make sure we have an offensive line that can get a tie. That's the beautiful thing about being an offensive lineman. A tie's a win. You don't have to go out there and pancake your guy every time. You just got to get a tie for 3 seconds. And if you have a running back that's getting arm tackled, then you don't have a running back. So that's That's kind of what you want to see. You want to see if the defense is going to fly around. I want to see us use the tight ends more. I really do. I want to see us run the ball, be efficient on offense, and the defense has to be better. The defense hasn't been as good as they need to be. And now, look, I don't know when you're dividing up the pie and they're spending money on players. Maybe they didn't spend any money on defense. So that's a front office problem. If you're gonna win at the University of Arkansas, you have to have an upper crust defense. Your defense has to be in the top 6. You gotta have a defense that can make plays for you. And I know it's cute to move the ball. You know, our last 2 offensive coordinators, and Kendall Briles and Bobby Petrino, hey, they can rack up yards. That's how cute is that? You're not winning a lot of ball games. You know, that's the whole point. I don't care if we win 12-10, if we win 16-8. I don't care. I don't. If we lose 38-41, what is it? Yeah, you scored 30. You lost the game. So I gotta see something on defense. 100%.
Yeah, and I mean, so obviously we efforted to get James Teague on. He might be busy and wrapped up with some stuff going on over there at court and the Teague Law Firm as well, but he might call us back, so we may get some more baseball talk coming in here, Matt. But I just wanted to hear your thoughts on this football team right now, because at the moment, I mean, we really don't have anything to cling to. Obviously, yes, if you're a Razorback fan, you watch all the sports. You've got baseball, softball going on. By the way, mentioning softball, they are currently in a delay right now, as was to be expected. The score has Duke at 3 runs right now. They just hit a home run and brought in Sailor Timmerman in relief of Robert Herron. But the score is 3-2, top of the second, 2 outs for the Duke Blue Devils, who are at bat and hold a 1-run lead right now in a delayed game up there at the softball super regional in Fayetteville at Bogle Park. But we'll talk a little bit more about that in baseball as well. But yeah, Matt, I wanted to get your thoughts on this football team, because right now there's just not a lot to cling to, not a lot to think about other than just hope, or maybe just, anxiousness, waiting for the season to get underway for any of you Razorback football fans out there. I did see where they had the highest GPA in spring history for football at 3.27. So props to those guys for getting it done in the classroom.
They better be going to class.
They better be going to class. You're exactly right. And I think that this is a little thing that, you can make a whole big deal out of if you want, that, hey, they got a bunch of smart players up there now, or hey, they got guys that are actually doing the little things right, and that's true. But more or less, it's just a good thing that you have a GPA worth posting about is probably a good thing. But Matt, I do want to talk a little bit about this offense a little bit, because you kind of mentioned it right there with Braylon Russell. I saw an article the other day on ESPN talking about the top newcomers for every SEC team and kind of what coaches and general managers, that's so disgusting to say when referring to college sports, general managers are kind of talking about right now. And the top transfer, according to ESPN.com, to come into Arkansas this past year was Sutton Smith, the Memphis running back, who we got to see firsthand early on in September last year. Matt, a lot of the thought around this running back room is that it may end up being one of the strongest position groups that you have on your team right now. Not only just with Sutton Smith and with Braylon Russell, like you mentioned, but they also have a lot of youth in there as well. Also got transfer Jasper Parker in from Michigan, TJ Hodges, Cameron Settles. Those are Arkansas products from right here in this state. And so looks like that running back room is going to be pretty talented. Matt, kind of like you said, this Razorback team in general, this program, they haven't been very good if they haven't had a good free safety. I'll challenge that and say they haven't been very good when they haven't had a good running back either. And it looks like this year they may have a thunder and lightning type duo in Russell and Sutton Smith.
How exciting. No question about it. The way the game has changed, it has to be running back by committee. There can be an RB1 and an RB2, but you got to have a couple of them. It's a collision sport. Running backs, you're going to get banged up. You got to kind of take the load off. If you can get 150 carries between 2 backs, and the wonderful thing about Braylon Russell is I think his hands are fine. Running back's got to be able. Is that James? Okay. Go ahead.
Well, we'll get James Teague on here right here with us. He joins us every Friday on Halftime. James, good afternoon, my man. Sorry we couldn't catch you at the right time early, but happy you're on with us today. What's going on in your world, James?
Yeah, sorry I missed you. Yeah, just running around like crazy between work and kiddos and court and bouncing around everywhere. But that's how things go these days. How are you guys doing?
Doing good, James. Happy you got a chance to get on with us here this afternoon. James, I want to ask you real quick, off the jump right here as you join us, James Teague, former Razorback pitcher from the Teague Law Firm. James, is this the best time of year for baseball players? I mean, you're done with school in tournament time. You know you have a postseason berth kind of locked up. I mean, is there any better time of year for a baseball player than right now when you're getting into summer?
No, there's not. I'll tell you a story. We had you got your down at Hoover. There was an underground little lobby area, and we played this game over and under. You flip 2 cards down, and if you think the third card is going to be between those 2, you can bet the pot. And if you're wrong, you owe the pot. And so you can imagine some people doubled their money, and some people lost it pretty quick. But that was the go-to move in Hoover. You're out of school, you're playing SEC tournament, you're getting ready for postseason. Sun's out. It's really the best time of year.
And speaking of Hoover and just, what happens down there, Hoover, Omaha, these fields, these ballparks that the Razorbacks are going to see, obviously, in postseason play, they obviously are a little bit bigger than what you see typically on the road and at home at Baum-Walker Stadium and throughout the SEC. How do bigger ballparks that you see, like in Hoover and Omaha, how do they affect pitchers and the approach that they have to every batter?
We know typically I'd say you pitch to contact. We've seen some balls go nearly 500 feet.
Yeah.
So if the ball's just flying, but that's really all it is. You're trying to get out, you're trying to get ready. If you're a starter and you're a Friday, Saturday, Sunday guy, you just want to have a good solid outing, get your reps, win or lose, and get prepared for the postseason. And I think the coaches and the players know that losing in Hoover isn't the worst thing, but you also want to take advantage of the opportunity and play well.
And speaking of other things going on in Hoover right now, they've implemented the automatic balls and strike system. James, when you were pitching back in the day, how many times do you think that you would have tapped your cap and tried to call a strike a ball, or a ball a strike whenever you thought it was obviously you might have got a call that was blown back there by an ump? What's your take on this whole ABS system, and does it make you feel kind of upset that you missed out on all this technology?
No, not really, because I think big league catchers know the zone and big league hitters know the zone.
Mm-hmm.
What a college catcher and pitcher thinks the strike is probably off the plate. I think the zone, their version of the strike zone is a ball on all sides of the plate. And so what I've seen is pitchers, challenge or catchers challenge, and it's a ball because what they thought has always been the zone has been actually a lot bigger than the big league zone.
Yeah, it's very true. And also, I don't mean to characterize you in this, but pitchers can be a little bit emotional too. So they might be getting a little bit hot, and they might tap the cap, and it's obviously they're a little bit further away from where the ball ends up too. So that's a very good point, James. James, I also want to know.
Well,
go ahead.
I said I got kicked out of being an umpire when I was umpiring for fall games when I was hurt because this thing was a strike. You don't shake that pitcher's mentality.
Yeah. James, I do want to talk a little bit also. What is what's the hardest thing right now for pitchers in the postseason? Is it obviously bigger ballparks and the environment? Is it kind of a different schedule that you have to get used to? Is it managing all the adrenaline that's flowing through your body when you know that every single game that you play from here on out has implications that could end or extend your season? What's the most difficult thing for pitchers right now during the end of the year?
Well, I had Coach Jordan, and he didn't play games, and he said it best. He said, we're about to separate the men from the boys. And I think that's what it comes down to is it's great to go out and dominate on a midweek, or it's great to perform during the season, but when the season's on the line and it means something, who's going to show up and who's going to falter? And I think that's the thing that, some people rise to the occasion and some people don't, and I think we're going to find out pretty soon.
James, how do you see this rotation kind of being pieced together here throughout the rest of the postseason as well? DVH made the smart play and started Tate McGuire yesterday, and then he gives Hunter Dietz, started Tate McGuire on Wednesday, and he gives your ace, Hunter Dietz, the ball against Texas today. As we go throughout the rest of the postseason, still no really surefire, definitive starters sometimes for us on games 2 and 3 of a series. How do you see DVH and Matt Hobbs piecing this staff together throughout the rest of the postseason?
Well, I think one thing DVH does well is he's going to give the ball to the hot hand, whoever that is. And by the time you get into the postseason, especially if you win game 1, you need about 7 arms. You need a couple reliable bullpen guys who can go back-to-back if needed. You need a long relief guy if your starters don't go long. And then you need your starters to give you some innings, even if you don't maybe know who that second and third guy is right now. So you don't need a whole staff. You need a group of reliable guys that you can trust. And, I think that between the bullpen and the starts that we've gotten, we have enough, assuming we can win game 1 and not have to go too deep into that pen.
Hey, how does we have a lot of callers. We get a lot of fans that they talk about this tournament and they just kind of talk in a different light about it, like mentality, like they don't like it. Aloy just got hurt. And my thing is he could have got hurt the next game wherever he gets hurt. And I'm a competitor. Athletes compete. You either compete or you don't. And if I got a jersey on and they're keeping score, I'm trying to win. What is your mindset? Does the mindset change when you go to the SEC tournament than when you're playing in the regular season or you're playing in a regional?
I think it depends who you are. My freshman year, I only had 11 innings on the year, and I got the opportunity to pitch and threw 5 shutout innings against Ole Miss, and that kind of catapulted me into my sophomore year and frankly may have kept me around, as someone who didn't throw a lot my freshman year. So if you're a guy who's looking for opportunity, it's the perfect venue. If you're a guy who needs a touch-up because you're going to be one of your studs in the postseason, then you're there for a touch-up. And if you're a guy who's working on some things at the plate or fighting some tendencies, it's still a game. It's still a competitive game. And by the time you get to the end, I guarantee everyone wants to win that SEC tournament. But I think each guy has got to know what they need to do to utilize that time to be prepared for the postseason. And if you get hurt, like you're saying, you could have got hurt anytime. That's just the way it goes.
All right, James, appreciate your time with us today. You can get in contact with James at the Teague Law Firm, where he obviously works. You can call him at 877-1688 with a 479 area code. James, what's happening these days over at Teague Law Firm, my man?
Oh, we're plugging along. We're family law, domestic, pretty much every day. I had a couple long trials this week, and so a little R&R today, this afternoon ahead of me. But we're loving it. Domestic and child support, whatever you need, we'll be there.
All right, James, give him the line, my friend.
Hey, if we can't help you, we'll talk baseball.
All right, that's James Teague with us as he is every single Friday at 1:15 here during baseball. At 12:15 here during baseball season. James, appreciate your time, my man. We'll talk next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, James Teague, as always. Glad we were able to get in contact with him. I feel a little bit better. I feel a little bit better about their chances today, man.
I always feel a little bit smarter about the baseball team after we talk to James Teague.
Absolutely. Well, we'll wrap it up right here for this segment of Halftime and come back in just a little bit, tell you a little bit more about what's going on right now, update on the softball game. They're still in a delay right now, and it's looking like there is an increased chance that weather could play a factor in this baseball game that's supposed to be getting started later this afternoon as well. But we will keep you updated on everything that's going on right now with the baseball and softball games, obviously right here on Halftime. So we'll come back in just a little bit and wrap this up this hour here in a couple segments, and then we'll talk a little bit more NBA playoffs, talk a little bit more college football. We'll do the usual right here like we always do on Halftime. Back in just a minute here on ESPN Arkansas.
The Razorbacks are on the road to Hoover for the SEC tournament, and ESPN Arkansas will be there from the first pitch to the final out. Our exclusive coverage is brought to you by Butler Furniture and Mountain Home. All the action in Hoover is also brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV, and by Walk On Sports Bistro.
And the Hogs have won it on Turner's second home run of the year. Oh, my goodness. This one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Take it from Arkansas greats, Joe Klein and Pat Bradley.
The big national sports apps are now in Arkansas, taking over Oaklawn and Bentley, which are no longer local.
Making Bet Saracen the only real local app.
Still Arkansans' fan fave.
Plus, Bet Saracen is still the official sports betting app of many of the state's colleges and universities.
Bet Saracen, built by Arkansans for Arkansans.
Bet with Arkansans. Bet with Bet Saracen.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
The NFL schedule dropped, and it's time to settle up. There's road trips to plan, hotels to book, tickets to split, tailgates to cover, and scores to settle. All the things for the season. But now, when you send $10 or more to a friend with PayPal by May 28th, you can win 2 tickets to every home game of your favorite team. Yep, the entire season. Visit paypal.com/P2P sweeps. No purchase is necessary. See websites for details, including how to enter by mail. Brought to you by PayPal, official peer-to-peer payment sponsor of the NFL.
The referee looks at his watch, and that's halftime.
This is Halftime.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Ty Richardson back here, Harry Robinson, Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. There's a lot of vehicles out there, Mike. You got over 400. That's what Derek was telling me, 400. And the great thing about every one of those pre-owns is what?
State sales tax paid on all of our pre-owned vehicles, and we got some huge rebates on our
new GMC models as well. So if you're in the market for a new vehicle, come by and check them all out.
Up to $11,000 off that row of GMC Sierras that we see right there. And there's other incentives on the GMCs too, the new ones. Plus you guys have 5 2025 GMCs, so there's a lot here.
Yeah, there's a whole lot, and we're definitely here to make a deal happen. So if you're in the market, come on by, check it out. And we work with all credit types as well. So if you want to have us to where we can get something done on the phone, we can take care of that too.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC, X11, I-540 in Fort Smith.
Spring showers bring April flowers, and June heat brings the air you can wear. Well, don't sweat it. Call Blaylock Heating and Air Conditioning and Plumbing Services. We service all brands and install York high-efficiency HVAC products. So for all your heating and air conditioning and plumbing needs, give Blaylock a call at 782-8940.
That's 782-8940.
We all make plans for the future, like car accidents, break-ins, and unexpected fires can disrupt those plans. At Shelter Insurance, our agents help design insurance plans that work for you and help protect what matters most. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call Brandon Zimmerman in Barling or call Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith.
Dental emergencies do not wait, and neither should you. At Valley Urgent Dental, they're here for you on the weekends, whether it's a broken tooth, a painful infection, or a crown that's come loose. Dr. Kendall Roberts and Dr. Doug Terry are ready to help. Why wait till Monday? Call 479-235-5655 now. Valley Urgent Dental is located at 5505 Uper Lane behind Golden Corral in Fort Smith. Valley Urgent Dental, emergency dental care when you need it most.
Summer is finally here. Come check out Koper's Boat Center's huge selection of boats with extra rebates for a limited time. Koper's features low pontoons and fishing boats, Malibu and Actus wake surf boats, Camus bass boats, and Koper's has recently added the luxury line of Harris pontoons. Koper's experienced professionals will answer all of your boating questions, and their award-winning customer service is second to none. Plus, they have the best boat storage option in town. Find them online at Kopers.com. That's COPATRS.com. Koper's Boat Center, providing family fun since 1971.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Been years been away. Past and present, not in the future, sort it out. It's good to think I'm still alive for.
Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. The May Mayhem continues with special pricing on trucks, SUVs, and pre-owned vehicles across all locations. Salute the savings and visit Lewis Automotive today. Let's get back to the show with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
Back here on halftime, 12:41 p.m. and great conversation right there with James Teague talking about the SEC tournament, Arkansas baseball, and everything they have going on down there right now in Hoover. It's looking more and more like that the skies in Hoover are getting pretty nasty. and that this 3 o'clock game might end up getting pushed back. So we'll see how that works out right now. Softball game obviously still in a delay over there at Bogle Park as well. But as we mentioned, we will keep you updated on all of the things happening between both Diamond Sports squads for your Arkansas Razorback. But the Razorback baseball team is playing Texas today. And, of course, anytime we mention those dirty cows.
Let me talk about getting clean a little bit before we go to the phones. I appreciate you, Colton. Hey, man, it's Matt Jones here for Bath Makeover of Arkansas. If you're tired of climbing over that old, outdated bathtub or cleaning and maintaining that tile shower, Bath Makeover of Arkansas has the solution. They have 3 showrooms across the state. So if you want to get in, get your eyes on it, you can go Little Rock, Harrison, and El Dorado. And is it El Dorado? El Dorado? How do you go for it?
In Arkansas, it's El Dorado.
El Dorado. I love it. So get up there and check it out. They have this coolest thing going on right now because spring is springing. Spring is sprung. They got a May offer, spring into savings event. They started with 50. Now they're looking for 30 homes to participate in their spring into savings events. 30 homeowners will receive 50% off installation of a new bathtub and a shower. And that installation, 5-year workmanship warranty, lifetime product warranty. My favorite thing is it's not going to take 6 weeks to get it done. They can do it as in little as 1 day. Be sure you ask them about the 0% interest financing option for senior and military discounts. Plus, there's a bonus. We know how much gas is out of control. $200 gas card. So with your shower purchase, that is Bath Makeover. That is 1-800-NEW-BATH. Please give them a call at 1-800-NEW-BATH.
Might need a cold shower from Bath Makeover of
at least put some ice in
after
it.
that. Might need a cold shower after this next phone caller here. As we mentioned, Texas, obviously Brian in Ozarks giving us a call. Brian, good afternoon. What do you think about this game tonight? What do you think about the game? Go ahead.
Well, this is my take on it. All right, so I watched Schlossnagle and what he's done. He's already pulled his ace pitcher and others because this game means really it's not going to help them win or lose.
Sure.
They could beat Arkansas 20-0. They could win the SEC. They are already a guaranteed lock of being a top 4 or 5 in the postseason. So win or lose means nothing. So my question to that is, if Schlossnagle does what he says and he pulls all his studs and they play their midweek guys tonight against Arkansas, and Arkansas beats Texas, 4-2, 3-2 against, Texas's backups and 3rd and 4th string, how does that help Arkansas at all? Because we know that they look at who you're playing, how they play, and does that not affect your RPI anyway? If they pull 10 of their starters, that doesn't, how would that help Arkansas at all?
Well, I'll tell you this, the committee and everybody that's in charge of the RPI, they don't really care if you're playing your starters or if you're playing, the legends that you brought back from the game, or if you're, you grab the 12-year-old from the stands, Brian. The RPI will be affected no matter what. But there is, and thank you for the call. I'm just tired of listening to him, honestly. But thank you for the call, Brian. Appreciate that. One thing I will say is that, yes, obviously Texas, they may not be playing all of their top guns tonight up there on the mound. But the good thing is that they're still keeping score. The scoreboard will be turned on. And at the end of the day, whenever Arkansas likely does beat Texas, because like you mentioned, Texas doesn't have a lot to play for, and Arkansas is trying to, maybe get a little bit more in a comfortable spot to potentially still host a regional if things shake out correctly. They're still going to keep score at the end of the day, and if Arkansas comes out on top, it's going to help them. It's going to make their RPI jump up a little bit, which could only spell good things for the Razorbacks. So, Brian, I know what you were trying to do right there. It's not going to mean too much. Well, they do still count the score, and you can't hide from that. So that's what's going to happen today. First pitch at 3 o'clock. Hopefully, fingers crossed, everything will knock on a little bit of wood. If you're superstitious out there, do whatever superstitions you have to do. They hope they get this game started on time. We won't mention what potentially could affect that game, but it is some inclement weather that could be coming down Hoover, Alabama way to put a little bit of a delay on this Arkansas Razorback baseball matchup today with Texas at 3 o'clock. Man. anytime he calls, it just throws me for a loop most of the time because he tries so hard to work how great Texas is into every conversation, and it's annoying. I should have just had that Clay bit ready from the other day. Brian is the biggest idiot. I should have just had that ready to go. If I was a better producer, I would have.
Well, Thomas Tuchel's not very smart either. I just saw this, bro. I know nobody cares, but I have to mention this. Trent Alexander-Arnold's not on the England squad either. Like, what the flip is going on? Cole Palmer, Trent Alexander. Like, you think it's the SEC baseball tournament and they're pitching off. It's like, what are we doing, bro? It's the World Cup, and you're not going to bring two of your best players. I am at a loss for words with the England national team.
Matt, what are your thoughts on another Matt Freese? He's likely to be the goalkeeper for the United States men's national team.
He's nice. He's nice. The thing with America's team, the U.S. men's national team, is the depth, the midfield. You got a Brendan Harrison that's pretty good. We had one of our center backs just got hurt that was playing in kind of the Power 5, so to speak, what I call it, playing in the SEC, the Big Ten, the Pac-12, the ACC, the Big 12. That's like La Liga in Spain. That's like Italy. That's like Germany. That's like England. So you play in one of those leagues. Iron sharpens iron. Weston McKennie plays in the midfield for Juventus. That's an Italian Series A league. If you play, Colton, in the midfield for Juventus, that's like being a point guard for North Carolina. Yeah. You're amazing. So we have some talent. Christian Pulisic, Weston McKennie, I think, are our two best players. I like Timothy Way. He played at PSG when Lionel Messi was there and Neymar. Host team, and when you're looking at our pool play, Colton, the 100%, we should make it out of pool play.
That's good. That's what I'm hoping for. At least to get a couple of wins, just to get the patriotism going throughout this country. I think that would be a good unifying thing right now, especially with gas costing $11 million a gallon. Everybody's just pissed off. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to the World Cup, and I'm glad that we have you here because I don't know anything about soccer or football, and during this World Cup, I'm going to need to lean on you a lot. And I'm going to try and get somebody on here to talk some soccer with you in depth before the World Cup starts.
Let's do it. We can have a whole 3-hour show. I don't know if anybody listened to it, but we could have a whole 3-hour show about it.
They're going to listen to it. I guarantee you that. And they're going to listen to this, too. We'll be back in just a minute to wrap up hour number 2 of Halftime with our Fish City Friday trivia question. So stay tuned for that if you want to get a little bit of extra off your meal over there at Fish City Grill. Back in just a second here on ESPN Arkansas on Halftime with Matt Jones and Colton Little. Stay where you are.
Is the visor just so no one sees how ugly you are?
This is Halftime.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Hey, Ty Richardson back here. Harry Robinson, Buick GMC, X811, I-540 in Fort Smith. Now, the good thing about this weekend, not just this weekend, through the end of the month, they're taking care of your state sales tax. Well, what does that mean? You know how you have to go to the revenue office after you get a vehicle? Well, this month, the end of this month, they are cutting you a check. So when you walk into the revenue office, you don't have to stroke your own check. You've got one there to take care of the state sales tax paid. Now, the good thing is that could be thousands of dollars here when you come check out their inventory. Over 400 vehicles they have on the lot right now. Mike, Taylor, Chico, Kevin, the rest of the crew here would love to help you out this Memorial Day weekend. Summer's approaching. Some of you have kids going off to college here in a few months. Maybe you want to surprise them with a graduation present. Whatever the case may be, Harry Robinson Buick GMC has everything you need. Come out by and see us. X11, I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey Fort Smith, your next great fishing story starts at the brand new Bass Pro Shops outpost on Bass Pro Drive, just off of Rogers Avenue. Step inside and discover the Pradco store within a store, where you can design a custom autograph lure from iconic shapes like the Head and Spook, Cotton Cordell Redfin, and many others. Add your name, a message, or whatever sparks your imagination. Whether you're gearing up for the water or grabbing a one-of-a-kind gift, it's all happening now at the Bass Pro Shop outpost. Come make something unforgettable.
Saddle up for the 93rd annual Old Fort Days Rodeo, presented by Choctaw Casino. Come experience the tradition of Arkansas's oldest rodeo. Memorial Day through May 30th at K. Rogers Park. Watch the world's best cowboys and cowgirls take on some of the toughest bulls and broncs in the world. Feel the dirt fly, hear the crowd roar, and experience a true rodeo tradition. Memorial Day through May 30th at K. Rogers Park. Grab your tickets today at oldfortdaysrodeo.com.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Top CDL Academy is a licensed Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration that provides the federal required training to obtain both Class A and Class B CDL licenses. Our program provides assistance with employment after graduation. We have finance and grant options available. Students straight out of class have started new careers earning $70,000 to $140,000 per year, and training is provided for all 50 states. Call today, 479-632-1050, COP CDL Academy.
Do you feel that, Arkansas? The Lotto jackpot is now more than $1 million. Why should you care? Because this $1 million+ prize can only be won in Arkansas. There are 2 Lotto drawings every week, and the jackpot keeps growing until there's a winner. Join the fun and play Lotto today. A $2 ticket could change your life. Get yours in stores today. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
You want, take you to a midnight show tonight. If you can keep a secret, in the backseat of the fix me the sky. It's the face for me. Try faster.
Enjoy the music you hear on Halftime? Of course you do. Our Halftime playlist is brought to you by Bath Makeover of Arkansas. During the month of May, they're looking for 30 homes to participate in their Spring into Savings event. 30 homeowners will receive 50% off installation of a new bathtub or shower. Make sure to ask about 0% interest financing options with their senior and military discounts. You can receive a $200 gas card with a bathtub or shower purchase and a free $50 Walmart gift card with a free in-home estimate. Now, here's Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Kristen Johnston.
Brian may be the dumbest person that I've ever heard on the radio.
Astute observation from our own Clay Henry. We'll have him back on Tuesday and Wednesday with us here. I needed that one last hour whenever Brian was spewing a bunch of
I think you handled yourself well.
I always try. Brian's gotten under my skin many a times before, and that's what he's gunning for. That's what he's trying to do. So I can't let him. I got to be better. I got to be a bigger broadcaster than that.
Well, we don't play Texas again
That's
for a
right.
while, so there you go.
And we're gonna punt. We're gonna punt on Fish City trivia here until the next segment. I want to make sure I give plenty of time for it. Right now, I'm just still trying to get used to all the clocks of how we do things here on this show, and so I squeeze just a little bit, but that's okay. I don't mind to be squeezed.
We got Jesse in Springdale at the top of the hour.
we'll
we
get
appreciate you calling.
We'll
Go
get
ahead.
Jesse. We'll get our Fish City trivia in too, and then we're gonna do some historical.
Oh, you got Bet Saracen as well in the next hour.
We got Neil
Yeah.
Atkinson coming up at 1:15 as well for all the gambling questions that you might have, and we're gonna have everything.
We got a
going
fun
on
last
here.
hour, huh?
Fun last hour. It's
Yeah.
a golden hour, the last hour of the week. God, it's been a good week, and I'm excited about wrapping things up here with Matt Jones and myself, Colton Little, here on ESPN Arkansas. You can call us. You can text us. Get in here with us as well, like Jesse did. We'll take his call next hour, 877-377-6963 to get with us here. Matt Josefa said that he would listen to a whole show.
Hey, I'm a
about
Jose.
soccer.
Jose. See, I can't even pronounce
fan
it.
of him, though.
I
You're
am
a
a
fan.
big fan. I saw him the other day in Aldi's,
Mhm.
and he was getting like 47 cucumbers. and I think he was saying it was for his ahi tuna poke bowl.
Oh,
We got it, dude. I could get down on one of those, man.
that does sound pretty good. Josefa goes to the store.
Josefa, there we go.
Josefa
Sorry,
goes to the
Josefa. You know I
store
love you.
And gets 47 cucumbers. That sounds like the start to a math problem that would used to make me sweat back in the day. But we don't have to do any math here on halftime. All we have to do is talk about ball, and that's what we'll do. Coming up here, hour number 3, Neil Atkinson, Fish City Friday trivia, and a little bit more here on halftime. Back in just a minute.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. They service commercial and residential lawns for weed management and fertilization for a lush, healthy lawn. Need bush hogging? They do that too. A Cut Above also offers tree and limb removal. Don't forget hauling and dumpster rental as well. More than just a mowing service, they're A Cut Above. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. Lawn, landscaping, power washing, stump grinding, leaf removal, mulching, flea tick, and mosquito control. 719-5605.
Here's to you and yours from the friendly folks at In Good Spirits, your upscale liquor store in Fort Smith. At In Good Spirits, they've got what your taste buds are craving, including flavorful wines from around the world, scrumptious brandies and liqueurs, tempting whiskeys and beers, and fine cigars. Treat yourself to the best as you listen to the game. Check out In Good Spirits, 12100 Highway 71 South, across from Riley Farms in Fort Smith.
Here's NASCAR Hall of Famer Mark Martin. As a race car driver for 40 years, I survived a lot of crashes. Not everyone can run into a wall at 200 miles an hour and walk away. Without a seatbelt, I wouldn't be alive today. Now I'm retired, back home in Arkansas driving my pickup. I'm shocked how many people aren't wearing seatbelts. Why risk your life when it only takes 2 seconds to buckle up? Take it from number 6. Buckle up, Arkansas.
A message from the Arkansas State Police Highway Safety Office.
It's time to get ready for the Old Fort Days Rodeo, and Jelco Outdoors, the official provider of Old Fort Days Rodeo merchandise, is ready to get you there in style. Caps, t-shirts, and other items for men, women, and children. Save on Ariat and Wrangler jeans with our buy 2 pair, get 1 free deal. Cowboy hats by Ariat and Justin. Select Western boots, buy 1, get 1 free. Get ready for the Old Fort Days Rodeo at Jelco Outdoors, 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith. Shop local. Shop Jelco Outdoors.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, showers and a chance of thunderstorms or high temperatures this afternoon in the low 70s north, upper 70s south. More isolated showers or thunderstorms overnight. Lows will drop down upper 50s to low 60s overnight. And then a chance of showers and storms Saturday, a high in the upper 70s to low 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by In Good Spirits, Fort Smith's premier source for wine, specialty beers, and liquor, located at 12100 Highway 71 South in Fort Smith. KERX Paris, Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Crabtree RV Studios on ESPN 95.3.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. What can't they dominate? And we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Well,
People said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
from the bottom of my Let's go, man.
I have zero respect for saying no Moss at time.
Vintage Matt Jones. The Cinderella story is over, man. Let's go.
Call or text 877-377-6963. Now, here's Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
Into the golden hour here on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas. Colton Little here with you. Razorback football and basketball legend Matt Jones with me as well. Big C out right now, getting an early start to the Memorial Day weekend with some vacation plans that he had with him and his wife. Hopefully he can join us again back on Tuesday, so we'll look forward to reconvening here after a long Memorial Day weekend. You can call us or text us here on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, 877-377-6963 to get with us. We'll take all your calls, all your texts. Matt, remind me, there is a question I need to ask you from Stephen in Fort Smith that I do want to get your opinion on before we go. But before we get to that, let's talk to Jesse in Springdale, who gave us a call here. Jesse, good afternoon, man. What's on your mind this afternoon? You're on Halftime.
What's up, guys? I heard, I guess the athletic department hired a consulting firm to kind of go over the finances coming in, going out, and they came back with that. I guess we're the only SEC school that has one pot for like the foundation donations. Every other school is taking donations individually for each sport. So they kind of recommended us to do that. Anywho, it sounds like ticket prices are going to go up. They're going to ask for more money. And with the cost of everything else out there, it seems like they're almost pricing the average Joe from attending games. Like, if you look at the actual cost to attend a game, you could go on vacation for that.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of families are going to have to be weighing their options. Do we go on a vacation this year, or do we go to one or two games? What do you think about that?
I go to an all-inclusive resort in Mexico for 8 days and watch it at the patio there. 100%. I can't pay because I was looking to go to the Final Four in Dallas. $3,000 a ticket. So if you go with two people, it's $6,000 a ticket. No thanks. I'd rather go on vacation and watch it on the TV.
I hear you, man. I think a lot of people are going to start opting for that. I don't know if we're going to actually see that ramification in the stands with a lot of empty seats, but it seems like there's going to be a smaller percentage of people that can actually afford to go.
Yeah, Jesse, I think you're right. I mean, you look at even nosebleed tickets at some of these Razorback basketball, baseball, and football games. I mean, it's quite a bit, and so that is one thing that I know that most people that are fans that have been following and going to baseball and basketball and football games for a long time, it's been a really hard pill to swallow because there's people that not only have gotten their chances of going to just one or two Razorback games every year taken away, but even some people that are spending lots of money to be season ticket holders. They're seeing those prices increased as well. But Jesse, appreciate the call here this afternoon. We'll touch a little bit more on that as well. Jesse was referencing Navigate. Navigate is a consulting firm that was used by Arkansas to give a review kind of where their allocation of funds is going throughout the athletic department. I'm going to preface this by saying, look, folks, when it comes to all the money and the business side of things, I have so much to learn and read before I'm able to confidently share it with you guys here on these airwaves. But I do know that Christina Long and Whole Hog Sports, she was able to kind of piece together everything that came out of that meeting that Navigate had with Arkansas's Arkansas's Board of Trustees and the athletic department. And kind of what they found was that Arkansas lags behind many peer programs in overall athletics budget growth, and it trails the top-tier programs in football spending. That's a direct quote from that article that came out just a couple of days ago on WholeHogSports.com. But Jesse's a casual fan. I know that I myself am a casual fan. I mean, I can go to all these games that I want for free, and I'm very thankful for that. But, there's a lot of fans out there that one game a year that they save up for to take their four or five kids, or they go save to take up their 4 or 5 person family to a Razorback game. That's no longer just a couple of $100 ticket or $100 bill. That's several bills that you may have to stack together throughout a week to be able to do that. And it is kind of a sad thing because it means there's empty seats in all these stadiums that I know Razorback players would love to have filled up. So we'll probably get a little bit more into this athletic stuff next week as some more reports come out about, just what Navigate found and kind of how that works out a little bit for football spending, especially as we get closer to football season as well. But it is time to do one of our favorite segments here on Halftime, and it's time for Fish City Friday Trivia.
It's Fish City Friday Trivia presented by Fish City Grill. 2003 Bellevue Road in Rogers.
Shrimp soup, shrimp stew, shrimp salad, shrimp and potatoes, shrimp burger, shrimp sandwich.
Friendly folks, serious seafood.
Friendly folks, serious seafood. That's what you'll find at Fish City Grill. Time for Fish City Friday trivia right here. Couldn't find a good question this morning. Wanted to do it baseball themed, but I also wanted to make sure that everybody kind of had to work a little bit harder for this one. So you can text us here. We'll take text as well on this Fish City Friday trivia question right here. Born on this day in 1988. Which former American beach volleyball player and former professional basketball player was
I know who that
born?
is.
He's been known by many names. One is
that's one of the coolest stories, and that's a good question.
Very cool
That's a
story.
cool
Known by
question.
many names. He, the Red Rockets, my favorite one. Giggle, giggle on that one. And he also won an NBA dunk contest at one point in his career in the NBA. So if you know, actually no, he actually lost that one. I'm remembering now. He lost to. I don't want to give away right here, but he lost that NBA dunk contest back in 2012.
His last season, guess you want to know how many points he averaged a game his last full NBA season?
Go ahead.
4.1 points a game.
4.1.
That's not if you play in the NBA, you're amazing.
Jody and Harrison, you're very, very close. I do need the last name spelled out. You had the first name and the first letter of the last initial. Jody, if you type out the rest of that name, you will win our Fish City Friday trivia question. You'll get a $25 gift card to Fish City Grill. And unfortunately, Jody, somebody beat you to the punch and got in there and spelled it correctly. A texter out of the 479 has won your Fish City Friday trivia. It is Chase Budinger. That story, like you mentioned, Matt, him turning into a professional beach volleyball player is so cool. And it's kind of a career path that I'm not sure why so many other basketball players haven't done.
As soon as I retired, Colton, you might believe it if I tell you this, but I retired in 2010 from the National Football League. And I was in Springdale area playing some hoop basketball, because you're staying in shape at that age, 28. I was approached by it's an Olympic volleyball team. They wanted me to come try out and play volleyball because, eye-hand coordination, 40-inch vertical, you got a chance. And that's what you kind of thought about it, didn't really know a lot about it, but that would have been something cool. So yeah, you can get there's nothing wrong with having a second career. And Chase Budinger is a better volleyball player than he is basketball player. That being said, if you're just a regular dude on the streets, you're not beating him in a game of one-on-one in basketball. Yeah.
That's like the old Brian Scalabrine quote.
Oh,
I'm closer
the
to
Red
LeBron.
Mamba.
I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me. It's an all-time trash talk quote, and that fits the same bill right there for Chase Budinger as well. That's going to be Fish City Friday trivia.
Good question.
We do it every Friday here on Halftime. Stop by Fish City Grill, 2300 South Bellevue Road in Rogers. 2003. Got a little dyslexic there for a second. 2003 South Bellevue Road in Rogers. They have some awesome chalkboard specials this month. Buckle in because this sounds delicious. Seared Ora King Salmon, also known as the Wagyu of the Sea. Cobia Baja Tacos with chipotle tartar sauce, tangy slaw plus cilantro and jalapeno. If you hear the sounds of saliva flying into the microphone, that's because my mouth is watering just reading this. Shrimp piccata pasta. It's a customer favorite over there and perfect if you love fresh seafood pasta. Some awesome chalkboard specials happening right now at Fish City Grill. Eat like the Hogs do at 2003 South Bellevue Road in Rogers. It's Fish City Grill. Friendly folks and serious seafood. All right, we got a couple minutes right here left in this segment, and I do want to bring up something that we've been doing the last handful of days here on Halftime, Matt. Sort of some hypotheticals, if you will. I've got an all-SEC offense. I've got four teams of all SEC offenses from the 2000s. So from 2000 to 2010, an all SEC team. There are four. Team A, Team B, Team C, Team D. When we come back from the break, I want you to pick.
We'll have to do it at the 12:30.
Yeah, when we come back after we go to talk to Neil.
Okay, I love it. That's
right.
this is one of my favorite segments that we've been doing. and I absolutely love this bit that you got going on. I'm into it.
And there's some heavy hitters that we got on here too, so I'm interested to hear what Matt Jones has to say about that. But like he said before, we're going to have Neil Atkinson coming on here in just a minute. Before we go, I want to remind you about Crabtree RV Center in Alma, Arkansas. They've been serving the River Valley and Northwest Arkansas for 75 years and counting. They give each buyer and their family the best RV purchasing experience, from choosing the right RV to personalized financing to top-of-the-line parts and service department. You can choose from one of the largest selections available in Arkansas and know that you are working with top-of-the-line sales and service teams. Summer is here, and it's not too late to let Crabtree RV get you started on your next adventure with an RV from Crabtree. Right at the junction of I-40 and I-49 in Alma, it's Crabtree RV Center, making your dreams come true. You can visit them at crabtreerv.com. Like Matt said, we'll come back and talk a little bit of gambling, a little bit of betting action with Neil Atkinson from Bet Saracen right here just after this next segment and these short messages.
The Razorbacks are on the road to Hoover for the SEC tournament, and ESPN Arkansas will be there from the first pitch to the final out. Our exclusive coverage is brought to you by Butler Furniture and Mountain Home. All the action in Hoover is also brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV, and by Walk On Sports Bistro.
And the Hogs have won it on Turner's second home run of the year. Oh, my goodness. This one belongs to the Razorbacks.
JJ Andrews with us, 2026 Arkansas commit here on the Morning Rush. What is it like as a player to step foot in Bud Walton and knowing that just under a year you're getting a chance to play in one of the best arenas in college basketball?
It's awesome. I love hearing them call the Hogs. You know, I've always dreamed of the moment since I was a kid. You know, I mean, during this process, I never knew where I was really going to land at. But now that I know I'm playing for the Hogs, it's one of the greatest feelings in the world.
Don't miss a Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft. Weekdays from 9 to 11.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Hey, Ty Richardson back here. Harry Robinson, Buick GMC. Exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith. All right, so we got several big-ticket items. We can talk about the state sales tax paid on the pre-owns, which is awesome. But think about all these new vehicles you have incentives on, Harry. You've got incentives on the GMC Sierras. You've got incentives on the Enclaves. I mean, the Invistas. Everything seems to have a discount out here.
Yeah, absolutely. Like up to $11,000 off on some of these GMC Sierras. We've got brand new SUVs, Buick Envistas, as low as $25,000. So if you're looking for maybe a new driver, someone who's going off to college, something like that, it's a perfect vehicle for them. I mean, it's a Buick, so it's going to be really, really nice. Guys, I know it's raining. I know it's going to be raining probably all weekend. Come up here. We'll pull the vehicles underneath here. You won't have to get out here and walk around. We'll go out there and bring them up here for you.
Yep, Harry Robinson, Buick GMC with a great awning outside. Come on by and see us. X11, I-540 in Fort Smith.
Ribs. I want the ribs.
People can get pretty particular about their ribs, and at New Myers Rib Room, they can too. Do you want to join an awesome team and serve mouth-watering championship-level ribs where the best brews and tunes flow? Come to work at New Myers Rib Room in historic downtown Fort Smith at 5th and Garrison. They're hiring new staff. Apply today and be a part of Fort Smith's most vibrant dining experience.
Now I'm here to eat ribs. Lots of ribs.
You don't just maintain your land, you master it. And at Sutherland's, we've got the steel to help you do it. Experience the brute force of a bad boy mower. These mowers turn a weekend chore into a victory lap. But every great machine needs a home. Our Sutherland's custom barns are built to last. Call 1-800-66-BARNS. Sutherland's with 4 stores in Arkansas, Fort Smith, Huntsville, Hot Springs, and Stuttgart, and online at Sutherlands.com. No matter the project, we're here to help. Because at Sutherland's, home starts here.
Hey everyone, Josh Earnhardt here at AAA Business Systems in Northwest Arkansas. Do you like doing business with local companies? Did you know that AAA Business Systems is one of only a few truly local office technology providers in Northwest Arkansas? Ask your current technology provider where their corporate office is, and let's keep your money in Northwest Arkansas. Buy local, support local. Call us today at 479-442-4185, and remember, anything else is just a copy.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind you to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I would also like to remind any current homeowners or any individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify. The homestead tax credit could save you up to $600 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor and paid for by Amendment 79.
Sometimes I'm in a hurry. Stay in the slow lane, buddy. That's when I use the Sodies app to order my favorites and pick up in their drive-thru. They even offer a 10% discount on your first app order. Experience different at Sodies Wine and Spirits off I-540 on Phoenix Avenue.
Every day is worth celebrating at Uncorked. Cocktails, wine, craft beer, bourbons, and unbelievably great food. Uncorked on Phoenix Avenue next to Sodies.
I think I'm gonna be sad. I think it's today. The girl driving me mad is going away. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. But she don't care. She said that living with me is bringing her down. Yeah. She would never be free when I was around. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. But she don't care. Don't know how she runs. Sure think quite sure to do right by me. She gets to saying goodbye. Sure think quite sure to do right by me.
You're listening to Halftime with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. This Memorial Day weekend, Lewis Automotive Group is honoring those who served with unbeatable deals. Let's get back to the show with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
Back here on Halftime, 1:18 p.m. in the afternoon here, Friday, the golden hour. An important note for all of our listeners out there here, baseball fans as well. We don't have a time yet, but it is almost imminent that the baseball game tonight will be on a little bit of a delay. First pitch was supposed to start at 3 o'clock, but it looks like it's going to be pushed back a little bit. Do not have anything yet on when the time actually will be. Just getting some text messages here, and haven't found anything yet. Matt, Neil just texted me, so I do need to try and call him back in just a second.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah.
I'll let me talk a little bit more soccer before you get into it. I'm sure there might be some. I wonder who the odds are in the soccer world for the favorites. Like I said, I think we were talking about in the break. I'm going to back Spain. I like Brazil. I like their coach. You know, Brazil's uber talented, no question about it. So that might be my second team I'm going to pull for. But I'm going to back Spain in this World Cup because of Rodri, Gavi, and Pedri. Those three in the midfield is as good as any three on any team. Those that you got two Barcelona midfielders and one Man City. Those two, all three of those guys are Galacticos. There's been two guys win the Ballon d'Or, and actually it's three. Since Messi and Ronaldo haven't been winning it, and one of them is Rodri. And so I'm a Rodri fan. Gabi and Pedri are both amazing, and we got Neil, so go ahead.
Neil Atkinson joins us now on the Lewis Automotive Hotline all the way from Bet Saracen. Neil, Matt was just talking a little bit about the World Cup. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of action on the Bet Saracen app when it comes to World Cup time here in the States.
Yeah, we've been preparing for it for several weeks now. We're going to have a nice little bracket contest once it gets out of the group stage, and we're actually on the Bet Saracen site going to have what I'm calling the World Cup Hub. So you can go and just click on the World Cup. Of course, we'll wait, Team USA and the most popular teams a lot more on that, and we're gonna have it all laid out there in front of you. And also, we're gonna try to do a little bit of a customer education because of a lot of people when they bet soccer, a lot of American sports, when you push and it's a draw, the game is void and you get your money back. But in most soccer markets, draw is one of the selections in the bet, and we just want to make sure people understand. Now we're also going to do the two-way markets also, but when you handicap soccer, especially in the early stages of the group, because they've expanded the tournament this year with more teams in it, there's going to be a little bit more lopsided victories in the early rounds. That's what we expect. But once we get out of the group stage into the knockout stage, it's going to be really, really exciting.
And Neil, you talk about just, some different rules and different things like that. And also soccer not being such a heavily watched and consumed sport here in the States. You should see a pretty big influx of people that likely, haven't bet a whole lot this year, will be putting forth a little bit of their own money out of their own pocket on these World Cup matches. Do we see an influx of more casual fans betting more heavily than usual during these tournaments as well in college baseball and college softball? Do we see a lot more kind of casual fans putting some more money down during these postseason matches here in baseball and softball, Neil?
Absolutely. The postseason, most of the time, depending on the format, is win or go home on these games. So anytime you have a marquee event like the NBA playoffs, Stanley Cup, SEC tournament, you can name them all. The World Cup, we're excited about it because for once, the World Cup is really in our time zone. Now, it was easier when it was in Brazil a couple of years back, but when it was in Qatar and the games start in the middle of the night and things of that nature, and plus, when it was in Qatar, it was not at the right time of the year. But with it being in prime time for U.S. and heck, you can't go and buy a soft drink right now without seeing World Cup on it. So we expect to see a nice little bump from that, because it's a sport that we usually don't have a lot of attention on. Usually during that year, during that time, we're start when June when it starts, we're at NBA finals and Stanley Cup finals are wrapping up. You got the College World Series that are wrapping up, and all you've got is basically the core U.S. sports are baseball and WNBA are the ones that get all the attention. So we expect to see an increase over last year just due to the World Cup, and with it being USA based this year.
Any action right now happening on softball? Like, has there been a big pickup in that? I know this softball team here at Arkansas has been turning heads all season long, and I did see on the Bet Saracen app today, Neil, there's a 40% profit boost on all super regional action for softball.
Yeah, we're one of the few sports books that cover softball. During the regular season, we just have enough demand to where we just cover the Arkansas Razorback games, but we covered every one of the SEC tournament games, all of the regional games, and of course we're going to cover all the super regional games. And of course with Arkansas being number 5 and a whole number 1 in our RPI and the attention around that, yes, we hope to cover them in Oklahoma City also. Now if they don't go to Oklahoma City, we will still cover all of those games. But yeah, we're excited about it, and I know we're in a rain delay right now up there, and Duke's ahead by 1, and maybe they'll turn that around because I really want to see them get to Oklahoma City. And if you think about the softball, before 2018, I don't think Arkansas had been to a super regional. Duke hadn't either, and since then, both Duke and Arkansas have been to 9 combined. Duke made Oklahoma City last year, and of course, we had that heartbreaking loss to Ole Miss last year for Arkansas not to make it. But hopefully, they'll turn it around with this game and get past this weather delay. And I want to be covering them and the bets. And we actually did some prop bets for the ladies today too that we saw a little action on.
Obviously, Neil right there mentioned the fact that Arkansas and Duke are still in a delay right now, top of the second, 2 outs at Bogle Park. But like Neil said, hopefully the rain will pass, and hopefully the game will be able to get finished up at a reasonable hour today. You mentioned player props right there, Neil. Obviously, the NBA playoffs are happening right now. Conference finals, they got the Knicks and the Cavs in the East, and the Thunder and the Spurs. The Thunder and the Spurs, that's probably going to have a lot of action on that here in Arkansas, both of those teams being so close. But you mentioned player props. For me personally, I don't think I would be betting player props right now at all in the NBA playoffs. It just seems so wild and so hard to predict. Do you see a fall off in the player props during playoffs for the NBA at all, or is it still one of those heavy markets that bettors like to hit on?
I bet bettors love the props.
Yeah.
They just do. There's, especially, with fantasy football and fantasy basketball, a lot of times, we're seeing where customers kind of follow players. But props, that action goes up during the playoffs. It just seems like, because there's fewer games, like, right now, we're in the Western Conference Finals, and people love parlays. So they like mixing their player props with their parlays, with their overs and unders, against the spread or money line. And they just parlay these props, one right after another, and it'll be cross teams, cross sports. But we see actually more prop action on each individual game in the playoffs than we do during the regular season. And that's just because there's fewer games to bet. So people look for content, and if you're a basketball bettor, there's only one show in town, when the playoffs are in. So you see a little bit more heavy action there.
Mm-hmm. Neil Atkinson joins us here from Bet Saracen. Neil, you kind of talk a little bit about the NBA right there. The adage has been for several years now that in the NBA they don't play defense, and so it's turned off kind of the older generation of basketball fans a little bit. And so I want to know, this may be getting into a little bit more of the analytics side of gamblers here in the state of Arkansas, those that are making sports bets. Younger fans obviously still love the NBA and all that it offers. Do younger bettors approach sports gambling differently than older Arkansas bettors?
Yes, and we actually segment, when we do our review, we actually segment our bets by age group.
That's cool.
And do analytics on that for marketing purposes and things of that nature. And that 24 to 35 age group, the engagement that you see from them, and you would think that they would, not as much disposable income, but their bet average is a little bit higher than the 55 to 65 age group or the 45 to 54 age group. And you see the mix, and that 25 to 34 age group is almost 33% of the demographics of the bets that we take. So, yeah, they are heavily engaged. And look, there's more ways to bet sports now. You've got the legal ways, you got the quasi-legal ways. There's a big thing with prediction markets. It's everywhere now. And, one of the things that we like to do is we like to say, hey, keep it local, keep it in the state. And, we try to do it on the regular, but with the proliferation of sports bets and all that, see how it irons out. Just one thing I always like to say is use your responsible gaming tools, bet with your head and not over it. And don't get carried away with it. And, But yeah, you do see that age group really, really engaged with sports betting.
God, Neil, you're such a pro, because your answer right there leads directly into my next question here. You mentioned that 24 to 35-year-old age group. That's where I fit into, Neil, and that's where a lot of the friends that I have that I'm in a big group text with, that's the kind of the demographic they fit into as well. And we have a big group text where guys will throw in their bets for the day or their picks for the day, and throughout the rest of the day, you can kind of just see all of our friends sort of sweating it out with them, even though they may not have actually put any money on it. NCAA right now is about to put the whooping on Brennan Sorsby, Texas Tech quarterback, who got involved in some sports gambling and quite a bit of it. Neil, like you just did there, like you always do every time you're on the show, you do a great job of reminding people that occasionally this can be addictive and this can be a little bit destructive. What is the balance that sportsbooks try to strike between encouraging fun, safe betting and then also promoting, responsible betting as well?
Well, the responsible gaming tools are really important to us. I mean, we actively and we periodically send newsletters to remind people that where you can set bet limits by the day, by the week, and deposit limits and things of that nature, so you can keep it in check. We also look for flags. If we see things and people's betting activity that raises a flag to us, or they call customer service and say something that piques that, we log all of that and we will send them information in micros. We won't get in all of their business, but we'll just make that information available to them. It is really, really important. And also, the other things that we do is we participate with IC360, which is ProEbet, and what that does is if you are part of an athletic or a professional league, and most of the conferences have gotten onto it, and you log into our system and we get an alert, and we know what you can and can't bet just by rules, and we make it where they cannot bet things that they're prohibited to bet on. So we try to get all out in front of it on things of that nature. But at the end of the day, with the amount of gambling that's out there, gambling is not new. It's just legalized, regulated gambling is relatively new, since 2018. And we'll see what they do with the prediction markets. But, at the end of the day, just make sure you keep sports betting fun and entertaining, and set your limits and set your budgets, and do not chase losses.
All right, Neil, appreciate your time as we always do every single Friday. Anything else happening right now in Bet Saracen our listeners should know about? Any good deals, any promos coming out here they can spend some money on?
Well, always check that promo page. The first thing you do whenever you log on, we've got profit boosts on softball, baseball, and the NBA finals and the NHL. So we've got that. Always check that. And don't forget also, with it being Memorial Day weekend, you got both of the big races. You got the Indy 500, and of course we'll be watching the Coca-Cola 600 with a little heavy hearts with the terrible news that we got earlier with Kyle Busch. But like I said, everybody stay safe this weekend and enjoy the sports. And hey, if you think someone wants to win or you want to root somebody, put $1 or $2 on it and have a little fun with it, and see if you can make a little money.
All right, Neil, we'll talk next week, okay?
All right, take care.
Thanks, Neil. It's Neil Atkinson right there for Bet Saracen. Neil Atkinson. Appreciate him and his time, as always, as we do on Halftime. He's brought to you by Bet Saracen, Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. And our entire Halftime lineup is brought to you by Swift's Jewelry in downtown Fayetteville. Whether you're popping the question, celebrating an anniversary, or looking for something special, Swift's is the place to go. Located right on the corner of right on Block Avenue next to Hugo's. They've been a trusted name since 1956. They specialize in custom jewelry and engagement rings that are designed to be just as unique as your own story. They also offer expert watch repair to keep you on time. Stop by and see them in person or visit swiftsjewelry.com to learn more. Swift's Jewelry, celebrating life's biggest moments. Before we go, we did get a call right here on the Lewis Automotive Hotline that I do want to take before we wrap it up in this segment. Dale is in Lavaca this afternoon. Dale, what's going on, man? You're on Halftime. The wrong button.
Hello?
How you doing, Dale? What's up, man? What's on your mind this afternoon?
Hey, I wanted to reply to the caller from Springdale about the ticket prices.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've got a good friend over in the Delta that's been a supporter of the Razorbacks for a number of years, and we've talked about this a lot, and he's just fed up with the increases in the donations that he's got to have, and he's really upset because he donated during years when. Well, he talks about John Pelfrey. He started with basketball tickets, and then he got football tickets. But he actually wrote a letter to Hunter Yurchek expressing his views, and Hunter wrote him a nice letter back. And he said, "Well, I'm done." He said, "I'm done." He still got. I think his son still got some tickets. Then they moved him away and whatnot. But I told him, I said, "Look, man," I said, "you may be upset about it. And just because he's losing your money, that really doesn't mean anything to the university anymore. The loyal donors, but because there's a new generation coming." I said, you may not pay. I think he had to pay $40,000 to keep his ticket, and I said, you may not pay that, but somebody else will. And we've, Matt, we've gone through this stuff before, with raising ticket prices and all that, and for some reason people still start showing up. And my personal opinion is the major college athletics are not for the average Joe anymore. I've got some friends that are retired, and they got time and they got the money and they go. So not to say, not to say some people don't, but it's an expensive game, and I don't have a dog in the hunt. I don't donate any money, but the ones that do are going to, and they're still going to pay it.
Appreciate the call. That's Dale from the VACA here, giving us lots of information and his insight, his opinion on ticket prices and all the things that he feels like are harder now for the casual fan. And, I feel for your friend down there in the Delta too, Dale, because the Delta has been forgotten about for a long time from the university up here in Northwest Arkansas. So I think Dale's sentiments are shared by a lot of fans right now that have to deal with, the fact that college sports and college athletics is just a little bit different than how it used to be. But change is a good thing. We're dealing with a little bit of change right here on Halftime, and we'll continue to wade through all that, as will all the college sports fans. We're going to be back here in just a minute, talk a little bit of SEC football historically here on the last couple segments of the last show of the week on Halftime on ESPN Arkansas. Matt Jones and Colton Little back after these messages.
The Razorbacks are on the road to Hoover for the SEC tournament, and ESPN Arkansas will be there from the first pitch to the final out. Our exclusive coverage is brought to you by Butler Furniture and Mountain Home. All the action in Hoover is also brought to you by Bradford Marine and ATV, and by Walk On Sports Bistro.
And the Hogs have won it on Turner's second home run of the year. Oh, my goodness. This one belongs to the Razorbacks.
Smalls here. If you're heading into summer without a medical emergency kit, you're taking a risk most people don't think about until it's too late. Summer colds can turn into sinus infections that last weeks, ruining your perfect vacation getaway. And when you're traveling, finding a doctor and a pharmacy, it's stressful. That's why I ordered a medical emergency kit. It's like having an urgent care and a pharmacy at home. It includes prescriptions like amoxicillin and generic Z-Pak to treat a wide range of illnesses. So if you wake up sick, at home, or on the road, you have what you need. No waiting for your doctor, no hours at urgent care, and no pharmacy lines. Also, no copays. Match your symptoms to the right prescription in your guidebook or call their telemedicine doctor. Start meds sooner and feel better faster. Every home needs a medical emergency kit, so order yours online in minutes. It's shipped right to your door. Save $45 with my promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. That's promo code SMALLS at urgentcarekit.com/smalls. Prescription required. Always consult your doctor to determine if this product is right for you.
You're listening to Halftime Live from the Crabtree RV Center Studios. Crabtree RV Center, where RVing is life.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Hey, Todd Richardson back here. Harry Robinson, Buick GMC, Exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith. So I know y'all can look outside, or maybe you're driving around and you're seeing it's raining. Well, it's kind of a bummer with the 3-day weekend. Here's the good news. If you in the market for a pre-owned vehicle, or maybe you're thinking about buying the kiddo heading off to college, maybe it's the kiddo that just graduated, maybe you need to trade your vehicle in and get a new one. Maybe it's a work truck, whatever. They've got it here at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. And while it may be raining, they've got a huge awning outside. So they've already helped several people here today at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Got them in. They didn't get soaking wet or anything because this awning goes on for a while. So if you're in the market, you've been maybe looking at harryrobinson.com, or you've driven by and you know what you want, come on by and see us. It's Harry Robinson Buick GMC. State sales tax paid on all their pre-owns through the end of the month.
We have a simple formula at Shelter Insurance. Provide personalized coverage at great rates with local agents to help you choose the coverage you need. And if the unexpected happens, fulfill our promise to be there when you need us most. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
Call your local shelter agent, Ryan Hughes, in Fort Smith.
The Arkansas Department of Transportation reminds you there is zero tolerance for handheld devices in highway construction zones, which are hands-free by law. And always slow down when you see orange barrels. Help us keep road workers and drivers safe. We all want to get home at the end of the day. Just remember, slow down, phone down. It only takes a second to change your life or someone else's. This message from the Arkansas Department of Transportation, the Arkansas Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Looking for power? We've got it. Wheeler Power Sports has the biggest pre-owned selection of UTVs, ATVs, and motorcycles around. Clean, powerful, ready to ride, and priced to move. From trail-ready machines to street legends. If it's got wheels and attitude, it's here. We're buying too. Got a bike, ATV, or UTV? Bring it in and get paid. Fast, easy, no hassle. Upgrade your ride or cash out today. Get to Wheeler Power Sports now, where the deals are high and the rides don't last. Wheeler Power Sports, keeping the good times rolling in downtown Fort Smith since 1967.
Ace has always been the helpful place, and now we're even more helpful by offering instant savings to Ace Rewards members. Just sign up at Metters Lumber Ace Hardware to start saving right at the register. Right now, get $50 off an Ego 56-volt trimmer and blower combo, or buy a Ego multi-head string trimmer and get a free attachment up to $199 value. Ace, the helpful place. Must be an Ace Rewards member to receive instant savings. Available through the end of the month. See participating stores for details.
your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game.
ESPN 95.3.
Another penny again. Another heart for you. Don't shame. Worth 24 carats to the kid. There's nobody home. There's nobody home. It's all the glitters is gold, so you glad you fall, and money don't fold.
You're listening to Halftime with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. This Memorial Day weekend, Lewis Automotive Group is honoring those who served with unbeatable deals. Let's get back to the show with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
Back here on halftime, about 19 minutes left till the top of the hour at 2 o'clock. We'll hand the headsets over to Ruskin and Zach. I'm excited about this SEC tournament and baseball happening. There's still no time that's been given to me yet. I have not been relayed that information as to what time that the baseball game may end up being pushed back to, but it's the weather. Nobody can really predict that, even those that get paid to, so we'll see how things end up there in Hoover down there. Royal blood right there to bring us back, man. I like that. That's a good choice. Yeah, loose change.
A lot of change going on.
A lot of change, and also some royal blood right here in this segment. Some all SEC guys that I wanted to mention and bring a little hypotheticals here for you on this Friday
I've narrowed
afternoon.
it down to 2 teams
Okay,
so
go ahead.
far.
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me set this up real quick.
Go
okay?
ahead.
So this is your all SEC offense from the 2000s in college football, okay? There are 4 teams, Team A, Team B, Team C, Team D. Each team has an all-SEC quarterback, an all-SEC running back, and an all-SEC wide receiver. So Team A is Tim Tebow of Florida. Team A's running back, Anthony Dixon from Mississippi State back in the day. And then their wide receiver, Alshon Jeffrey. Team
Jeffrey
B,
was a beast.
He was a beast. Team B, Jamarcus Russell, Ronnie Brown, A.J. Green.
You know, Ronnie Brown hit on one of my girlfriends at
Did
the
he
time
really?
back in the day. Sorry, so you know I've already X'd Team B off the list.
Okay. Well, I liked Ronnie Brown, so now I have to X him off of my
I
list, too.
like Ronnie
liked
Brown.
Ronnie
I'd have hit on her too. She was hot. What are you talking about? Yeah.
I liked Ronnie Brown because he was a part of that Dolphins team that made it to the
Yeah.
playoffs at one time with
Yep.
Tony Sparano running the wildcat formation a little bit. And then they just got eaten alive by Terrell Suggs and Ed Reed and the Ray Lewis and the Ravens in the wild card. But as what happens to the Dolphins in the playoffs every time. So Jamarcus Russell, Ronnie Brown, A.J. Green for Team B. Team C, Jay Cutler, Dexter McCluster, Julio Jones. Team D, Andre Woodson, Darren McFadden of Razorback fame, and Robert Meacham. Matt, I think I have a good idea of where you're going to go right here, but I want to hear your take.
Well, you know this. I think Darren McFadden is the best Razorback in modern day football history. So that's tough on me not to choose Team D. But your best quarterback on this list is Team C.
Amen.
So,
The
and
boy.
I got to go Cutler, McCluster, and Julio Jones.
Yeah.
That would be my team. But I'm torn because I'd take any team with Darren McFadden on
Yeah.
it. That's the truth. You have different eras, and you kind of try to compare. I think in the modern day, since the 2000s, the best Arkansas Razorback football player is Darren McFadden. So it's tough. I'm hurt by not taking that, but I got to go Team C.
I was with you on Team C from the beginning. I originally wanted to pick Team A because I know how good Tim Tebow was in college.
yeah.
And if you'd have given him someone like Alshon Jeffrey on the outside for him
He
to
had
just
Percy
lob it
Harvin.
up
He had
to-
that tight end that Epstein himself.
Yeah. He sure did, and there were plenty of other reasons for that. But Tim Tebow, obviously, him throwing the ball up to like a 6'5" guy, and Alshon Jeffrey would have just been that would have been so hard to watch. But yeah, Team C was my choice, like you said. Jay Cutler, the best quarterback out of that group, and then obviously you have one of the greatest receivers in the history of college football.
Yeah,
in
that's
Julio
the other
Jones.
thing.
Another cheat code from the Crimson Tide back in the day, but not to be slept on was old Mrs. Dexter McCluster. First of all, I love the name Dexter as a big Dexter's Lab fan on Cartoon Network back in the day. Dexter McCluster also gives you a bit of a threat in the return game too. I
Scat back,
remember-
catch the ball out of the
scat back.
backfield.
Catch the ball out of the backfield. That's a big time. And that's what the league has turned into now. You got to be able to catch the ball out of the backfield, too. There's no real need for just a pure bruiser anymore. You got to be able to do both things. And so I like Dexter McCluster, Julio Jones, and Jay Cutler for my pick for the All-SEC offense 2000s edition. Team C is the definitive answer here on Hotline, or on halftime for that one. You can join us here on the Lewis Automotive Hotline if you got any outstanding thoughts on the All-SEC teams of the 2000s, if you think maybe a different team would be better than Team C, what we've put together here. So call us, text us, let us know, 877-377-6963, and we will take on anybody that wants to talk a little bit of ball here this afternoon with a little less, actually 14 minutes to go exactly until we wrap things up here on halftime. Matt, you ever play in a game with a big weather delay where you had to wait around?
Yeah,
for a
we
little
played
while?
against Alabama. The last time that the Razorbacks beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa was my junior year, I believe. And we get there and the rain. So we warm up and we're getting ready. And then, you go back into the locker room for 20 minutes before the game starts. So we warm up. We go back into the locker room. And all of a sudden, there's about a 45-hour delay, so you kind of got to get loose again. And then we ended up winning that game in double overtime. So that one was cool. If you remember, I was a senior in high school, and I went on my official visit. I want to say, no, I'm sorry. I was a freshman, but I wasn't playing. It was our very first conference game, Tennessee Volunteers at home, my freshman year. And we had two different lightning delays where we were out there playing, had to go back in, come out and play, then had to go back and come back again. So it's tough. The one that I always go to, 45, is the Super Bowl against the Ravens and the 49ers when they had that hour delay.
Yes.
It's so tough to get your body. You're getting loose, you're getting ready to go, and then you got to go sit down for it's kind of hard on your body.
Yeah, I remember that Super Bowl a lot because, that kind of gave San Francisco a chance to come back a little bit in that game and kind of put the Ravens on pause there. Yeah, that was a weird thing to happen in that Super Bowl.
Turn the lights out.
That was it. Beyonce turned the lights out in that one. That's I forget who does the halftime show for that one, but I remember that. Jacoby Jones taking the kickoff return back. Yeah, former then a future Dancing with the Stars champion. That was a very good game in the Super Bowl right there. That's a good pull. I remember that one. Update on the schedule for the baseball team. We've just got this come through here just a minute ago. This is from the Southeastern Conference and their Twitter page. Due to current inclement weather conditions in the Hoover area, Game 11 of the SEC baseball tournament between the Razorbacks and the Longhorns will begin no earlier than 4 p.m. Central. The gates are going to open up there in 12 minutes at 2 o'clock Central down there in Hoover. But it looks like that game is not going to start anytime before 4 p.m. Central today. So about an hour delay, and hopefully they can squeeze that in. So that's what you got for the baseball team today. Still a delay over at Bogle Park for the softball game as well. Still 3-2, top of the second, 2 outs. The Duke Blue Devils up to bat. But yeah, we'll give you all the updates that we have on that. Also, before we wrap it up right here, we are going to take a quick break before we come back and finish the show. Want to remind you that North Arkansas Regional Medical Center always brings better to you. They're the second largest employer in Harrison with over 700 employees and over $50 million in annual salaries provided to their community. They serve 5 counties totaling 9,500 people in North Central Arkansas. And with nearly 60,000 procedures performed last year, NARMC has earned outstanding reputation for their commitment to providing the most accurate, safe, timely, and caring medical image and interventional radiology services. They have a dedicated team of medical team of physicians, nurse practitioners, and physicians assistants who specialize in internal medicine, family practice, general and specialty surgery, orthopedics, women's health, oncology, urology, hospice, and home care. All of that is at NARMC, North Arkansas Regional Medical Center, bringing better to you. All right, back here to wrap up the last segment of the week on halftime in the Golden Hour right here on ESPN Arkansas.
Heard a little chatter coming out of their dugout early, but it slowed down a little bit.
This is halftime.
ESPN 95.3 is live on location.
Hey, Ty Richardson, we're back here. Harry Robinson, Buick GMC, XC11, I-540 in Fort Smith. Devontae, all of your pre-owns out here, man, are state sales tax paid. We've all been to the revenue office, but it'd be nice to go to the revenue office with the check in hand.
Yes, sir. And it actually goes a whole lot better when you've got that check already written for you by Harry Robinson Buick GMC.
Yeah, you come by and see us, and you can check out all the inventory here. Heard over 400 vehicles on the lot. That seems like it's the most in years, man.
Absolutely. But we only have 5 2025 models left in stock. So get down here and get them.
Yeah, you got plenty of 2026s as well. That row of GMC Sierras, I know a lot of people stop by and see them, up to $11,000 off. It's a great truck, Devontae.
It's a great truck, and 11,000 off, guys. I mean, you got to get down here quick because they're not going to last.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC asked for Devontae. Exit 11, I-540 in Fort Smith.
Hey, Ty Richardson for JamMart. JamMart is always trying to save you money, and that's why they partner with Valero. Hook up your checking account to the Valero Pay Plus app, and you'll get 10 cents off a gallon, plus other special deals on holidays and more. JamMart and Valero, passing on the savings to you. Now available at the 3 Fort Smith Valero JamMart locations. JamMart, the leading gas station and convenience store in the region.
Fill her up, please.
Founded in 1950, Crabtree RV Center has grown into one of the River Valley's largest RV dealerships, proudly serving Northwest Arkansas, specializing in sales, parts, and service. We're truly your one-stop shop for all your RV needs. Conveniently located with easy access to I-40 and I-49, we're 40 minutes from Northwest Arkansas and just as close to our friends in Oklahoma, carrying top brands like Grand Design, Coachman, East to West, and Forest River. Crabtree RV Center, making your family's dreams come true for over 70 years.
Hi, I'm Dr. Cole Johnson with River Valley Smile Center. If you're struggling with missing teeth or tired of loose, uncomfortable dentures, I want you to know there's a better option. With full arch dental implants, we can create a smile that's strong, secure, and looks completely natural. These aren't traditional dentures. They're fixed in place with implants, so they don't slip or cause pain. You can speak, eat, and smile with confidence like you're used to. I've seen firsthand how life-changing this solution can be for our patients. It's why I love what I do. Give us a call at 479-646-0706 or visit rivervalleysmiles.com. Let's rebuild your smile together.
When you need legal help, turn to the law offices of Craig L. Cook. With over 40 years combined experience, the Cook Law Team works for you. If you've been injured in an auto accident, hurt on the job, a victim of nursing home negligence, or need help with bankruptcy, Social Security, wills, trusts, estates, or family law issues, Craig Cook will go to work for you. Call us today, 479-783-8000. The law offices of Craig L. Cook with locations in Arkansas and Oklahoma. We work for working people.
When the heat turns up, your equipment can't afford to slow down. At Sharp Equipment, we keep you working with quality parts, quick repairs, and a team that knows how to get you back up and running. Whether you're tackling land, lifting loads, or repairing what broke in the field, we've got your back. Visit Sharp Equipment at 3918 Pointer Trail East in Van Buren, or give us a call at 479-649-0500. Sharp Equipment, keeping your world moving, less downtime, more done.
The Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Online and on the air and now everywhere you go. Tune in to the greatest moments of Razorback sports with Chuck Barrett, Bo Mattingly, Tommy Kraft, Ty Richardson, Matt Jones, and Ruskin and Zach with our Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Stay connected no matter where you go with the Hit That Line Now app, fueled by Taco Bell. Download for free in the Apple app or Google Play stores. Just search Hit That Line Now. It's fueled by Taco Bell. Make sure to follow Halftime on X at Hit That Line AR and on Facebook and Instagram at Hit That Line. Call or text 877-377-6963. All guests join us on the Lewis Automotive Hotline, serving Northwest Arkansas for over 80 years. This Memorial Day weekend, Lewis Automotive Group is honoring those who served with unbeatable deals. Let's get back to the show with Matt Jones, Colton Little, and Christian Johnston.
Like we mentioned, Arkansas Razorback baseball will be in a delay here to start the game with Texas. It's supposed to be at 3 o'clock, now going to likely have their first pitch at 4 o'clock. But like Earth, Wind, and Fire just said right there, Matt, that's the way the world goes, unfortunately.
Hey, I was going to whoop your butt on a Tuesday, but I'll whoop your butt on a Sunday. That's what John Turturro says in The Big Lebowski. It doesn't matter. We don't roll on Shomer Chavez. We'll beat your butt at 3 o'clock or we'll beat your butt at 4 o'clock. It doesn't matter.
Nobody messes with the Jesus.
That's right.
Nobody messes with the Jesus. Halftime here has been so fun this week, Matt. I really appreciate you sticking here with us. As do all the listeners, too. Appreciate you all being with us here today as well. As always, that's the way of the world, as Earth, Wind, and Fire just said right there. But, man, it's been a fun show today. It's been a fun show all of this week, and we look forward to doing more of it for you right here on Halftime the rest of the week. So, like we talked about, softball still in a delay right now. Duke is up 1 run on them currently, that they still have plenty of time to get that fixed around for the Lady Razorback softball team. It is 3-2 lead for the Duke Blue Devils right now in the top of the second inning with 2 runners on base for Duke right now and 2 out. So hopefully they can get out of that jam after they get out of this delay, and hopefully the Razorbacks start on time too. So Matt, it's been a good week. Appreciate your time as always, my man.
Woo! Right back at you.
Yes, sir. All right, for Matt Jones and Christian Johnson, for Aaron Torres, for James Teague, for Neil Atkinson, for all of our callers and texters, I'm Colton Little here on Halftime. That'll do it for a Friday. You guys get up. Have a great day, a great weekend, a safe Memorial Day weekend as well. We'll be back in these chairs on Tuesday to tell you more about everything that happened over the weekend. Till then, y'all take care.
Save up to $4,000 on select Buick Enclaves at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. That's $4,000 off and 4.9% financing for up to 84 months on this luxurious third-row SUV. Or drive the brand-new Buick Envista, a stylish crossover, for as low as $399 per month. These are limited-time offers. Experience the new Buick at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith, or online at harryrobinson.com.
Got a pest? Call West. If you have pest or termite problems in your home, call West today and learn how their 50 years combined experience can help solve your problems with competitive pricing and quality services, all designed with your pets and children in mind. Call today and schedule your free estimate. They even offer Saturday